Welcome to the JM Exchange podcast. Just have normal conversations with people from Cleburne, Johnson County area that are doing cool things and helping people out. I just wanted to say thank you to a few people that have helped me bring this together and make this happen. Number one, I want to thank God. I can't do this without Him. I also want to thank my wife. She's given me great support and stayed behind me through this whole thing. And also family and friends that have given me support too. Want to give a thank you to Blake Jones Agency for allowing me to set up my studio. I want to thank Carson Luce for graphic design. I want to thank Jerry Lair with bjjloan.com. Reach out to him for any of your residential loan needs. John Bendes, and also the guests that come on and share their stories. Hope you enjoy the conversation. Thanks, y'all.
All right, we're live. All right, Chris Lathers. How you doing, man?
Good.
Good. So what you tell us, where you're from and just about yourself and all that stuff.
Chris Lathers, born and raised in Cleveland. Moved away for a long time. Come back. Parents started getting older. So I've been back in Cleveland for like 5 years or so. Started a business. Kind of sitting here since.
What's your business?
Blue Magic Pools. We do swimming pools, maintenance and repairs and remodels, things like that. So it's busy season right now. Yeah. But I'm blessed, man. Now, honestly, I I work as much as I want to work. I don't want to be Leslie's. My path isn't that way. That's not my priority. I want to live while I can and not work. So I don't know if I'm 70, I'll be a millionaire. Well, that's cool, but I don't do anything with money.
Right.
So I go, help where I can, and play along the way, and work as less as I have to work. I'm not one of those. I got money in savings, but all nursing homes are the same.
Right.
It just costs a little bit more than other.
I was going to say,
so I don't give a shit.
You're not busy living.
Yeah, I grew up seeing. I was always in the doctor's office. My mom's a hypochondriac, and she can see this if I say it. She's a product of the government. It's government systems, big pharma, and American diet. Mm-hmm. And I grew up in that. And I'm like, no, it's too much. So I was always in the doctor's office with her. And I was in nursing homes, and it was just kind of led me not to. I want to live when I can. And my grandma had a lot of money at one time. And the day she died last October, she ended up with a box with nothing pictures and a few papers in it.
Yeah.
I want to go to Hawaii. I want to go to Colorado. I want to go to Missouri. I want to go to California. Just run it while I can.
That's awesome, man. So you graduate from Cleveland, right?
Well, technically, I was class of 04, and I was actually a 5-year freshman. I was a bad kid, man, and never went to school. My mom didn't have to go to school with me for 3 days because the option was a fine, jail, or she has to come to school with me and make sure I went to class. So, I have to go to class with me. And I just never went, man. I was just a bad kid. So I ended up having to get my GED. Backtrack here. I 5-year freshman, went to team school, got completely caught up, and was going to walk across stage 6 months with the 2012 class. And that's when I caught an aggravated assault charge. And they kicked me out of school and put me straight to jail. Got my GED in jail.
Yeah, we bring it just a bit close to your mouth.
Yeah. So I got my GED in Johnson County Jail.
Okay.
And I don't know what the purpose of that was because it doesn't like who asked you for your GED?
Right.
No one asks that shit. So because it's one of those things they think you get. But so 2004 Cleveland caught that charge.
So how long were you in there?
So I did. They gave me the Johnson County Special, which is 6 months 6 months and 10 years probation. I did 6 months boot camp, and I'm medically discharged because I'm a bad heart. So I'm medically discharged because I passed out doing their drills, and the doctor discharged me. So I went back to county after that. So I did 8 months total in that stretch, and then I was out in not even a year, and went and picked up a good friend of mine that was home on leave from the Marines. He was drunk, and I was driving his car, and they pulled us over, and he was drunk talking shit to the cops. So I was 21 and he was 20, and they got me to contribute to a minor. But we're sitting back now for another 9 months, 8 months. Clearly doing the right thing here. Like, passed all your field sobriety tests, hadn't been drinking or picked up a friend and needed, taking a ride home, and he had a busted tail out, and he had 2 beers in the back seat floorboard and a 6-pack green. And I'm like, those are my beers being 21. I was like, those are mine. And contributed to a minor sitting back down. So a total of, I think it was 15 months total of both stints on that one.
How old were you? Just 18?
I was 8. So I was 18. I got locked up 4 days before my 19th birthday. So I did from 19 to almost my 20th. Got out and went back at my 21st.
Oh man!
And then got back out and then had my oldest, which is now 17, and the whole game changed. Because that's when I was like, I got to break cycles.
Yeah.
Because it was inevitable for me. Everybody, my whole family had been in prison. We were just, it was what it was. The Lifetime movie special, abusive stepdad, alcohol, drugs, all the things. And I'm like, I got to show something different. Excuse me.
Oh, you're good.
So I did, and I hope I'm doing okay. I seem to be alright. My kids tell me I'm good.
I was going to say, you seem like you're doing, pretty good job. I mean, I know you got your business and everything, and move this just a second. There we go. That'd probably be a little better. Don't hit it or anything. But no, man, I see you on Facebook all the time. You got your business going. I try to share small businesses, and especially with buddies and stuff like that. So, I know we met working at Chili's.
Yeah.
Back in the day. I was trying to think of what year it was. I was racking my brain, and I can't remember. But I know I graduated in college in like 06. So it had to be like
it was around
05 or so.
Yeah, it was around there because it was Chili's was I think it was like my first actual serving job. Before then, I was a host at Applebee's, so I was just around 18, right before I caught the charge. Actually, I think it was right before I got in trouble. I was at Chili's. I did the bar scene, which is wild because I did 10 years probation, and I worked in bars the whole time, from management to VIP managers to bouncers to bartenders. But my PO was really cool, man. I didn't get in trouble. I passed every piss test. Everything was paid up. Everything was good. I never got in trouble. So he kind of looked the other way. Honestly, if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have made it, to be honest with you. And not that I was doing anything bad, but I'm an aggravated assault charge working in a strip club. Throwing people out. And it's kind of frowned upon.
Yeah.
But it worked out in my favor, man, for sure. For sure.
So let's talk about the main subject, dude. Fishing poles for kids.
Fishing poles for kids. Well, it kind of led into it. That's why I started doing it, because I grew up on the water. I didn't realize it. Being 49, memory's a tricky thing. So what we think is true may not be true when we were kids, right? So, but we were always on the water, man. Always on the water. With Whitney, the Brazos, the Plucks, we were just always camping, always fishing. And we would stay 2 or 3 weeks at a time in tents. And we had a home, but my mom would drive us back and forth to school from Whitney to Cleburne to go to school. And I didn't realize until I got older is because it was cheaper to do that than it was to stay in the house. So they were still paying the rent, but all the electricity and all the food and all the bills that accumulated, it was cheaper to do it. Ate what we caught, sandwiches, and then a generator. And it just, one of those things kind of stuck with me. And until I got a teenager and started going wild. And then after Camden, I found myself back in the woods and fishing a lot. And that's kind of where the fishing pole started, was just give them a little spark, give them something different than now 2026 in the bedroom playing video games.
Yeah, for sure.
In our era, it was getting away from stepdad, stepmom, abuse, whatever it was, giving an outlet. But now it's like, it's still the same, but let's get you, we ran the streets.
Yeah.
Regardless if they were bad parents or not, that was just what it was then. We met up in Kroger parking lot and we went to the next party down the road, and that's what happened. So now I'm just trying to get them out of the house in general. Like I even tell my 17-year-old, I was gone all weekend, and I said, listen, give you full permission to have a party, because he does it. He's a super cool guy, man. Does well in school, works part-time job. He's 17, works part-time job. He works, goes home, goes to school, then it. I'm like, you have permission to have a couple of friends over, and he just won't do it. They don't do it nowadays. So back to the fishing poles, it's kind of what it is. Just get outside for a little bit. And this year is 7 years. 7 years we've been doing it. Yeah, 7 years, 7 or 8. Whoa. But 1,300 fishing poles, I know that for a fact. 1,300 fishing poles after this year will be given out for free.
Nice.
And again, just because, man, just because. Hopefully it's. I started doing before I even started getting the messages and the emails of how great it was and how it changed lives and domestic violence. I get the messages, I was going through a bad divorce, and we came and got a pole, and my kids had a great time. Thank you for this. And when I started doing this, I didn't think that far ahead. I just did it because I thought it was cool. And the more emails and text messages and Facebook messages I was getting, I'm like, okay, this is actually making a difference. So I just continued. Again, it's all funded by the community. There's no nonprofit. I'm not making anything off this. It's literally just businesses in town and individuals. And like we were talking about earlier, I call me ignorant, but I kind of want to keep the nonprofit out of it because of the bureaucracy part of it. Could I get bigger with it? Yeah. But do I want to mess with the bullshit of the red tape and the paperwork? Yeah. And not really. Because again, to me, it's super simple. You give a kid a pole, you teach them how to tie a hook, and we use corn for bait because it's cheaper, and you get a lot of it, and send about their business, and hopefully it sets a seed.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't know really what more to say about that one because it's so simple to me.
Well, have you ever had a year where you had more kids show up than poles that you had to give out?
Yes, only we have, and the way and what I do with that, and it hasn't. I think it's only happened like twice, and it's not a lot. It's only like maybe 4 or 5, maybe a handful of them, and then I will take their number, and then I will go get them a pole, and I'll still give them a pole. So either way, they get a pole. If we don't have them that day, then we just exchange contact information, and I'll make sure those kids get a pole, because it's not a lot. That 250 to 300 poles, it's a lot of poles.
Mm-hmm.
So again, if it's stragglers, it's not very many of them. And there's some years that we don't give them all out on that day, and then I walk around the whole park or the neighborhood and just start giving kids poles. I've done it in Walmart parking lot. I've got a handful of poles, and these kids are looking at me, here you go.
Yeah, just hand them out.
And we got donation boxes all around town too, and I just hand them out like. The kids looking at them, I'm literally taking them out of the donation box and giving them to them. Yeah. So that's the point.
I get
the point. So the only thing that we don't do on the day to give out is the kid has to be there. Now, if they're not there, and then everybody's done, and we got poles left over, by all means come back to and say, hey, if we got them, I'll give them to you. So I want to make sure the kids that are here that's been waiting get what they've been waiting for.
100%. Yeah, I understand that, man.
So whatever's left over, like I said, come back and then we'll give those out. And if not, then give me contact information. I'll make sure you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I know I saw it. I started seeing it, I guess, like 3 years ago. Because I know it was I remember I met up with you last year and gave you a donation.
Yeah.
I think it was the year before, but I was out of town and busy, and I didn't have a chance to get you. But I just remember you were on the day of, and I was like, "Oh, you're doing it today." And I was like, I'm out of town, man. I can't do anything. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get you next time. And I did it, and I did, and then I started this thing. I was like, I've been scrambling to try to get this together before your drop day.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things. Like earlier we were talking, and you're contributing to this, and Blake was wanting to contribute what he can contribute to, and I was like, well, I mean, I could sure as hell talk,
talk about it. So, and that's what I did. I get people ask me, how can I help? Again, it's get a fishing pole, or talk about it, or the day of come tie a hook. Again, it overcomplicating it overcomplicates it. Talk about it. Donate if you can. If you can't, please talk about it, or come and tie a hook. That's it.
Yeah.
So thank you for having me to talk about it, man.
For sure.
Because the ultimate goal is, I would love one day to branch out farther than just Cleveland.
Mm.
I mean, Cleveland holds the special heart because it's my hometown. But kids are kids no matter where they're at.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
If we can branch it out, that's fantastic. And that's the only thing, back to the nonprofit, that's the only thing I'm leaning towards one day becoming a nonprofit, so I can branch out more. But right now I'm comfortable doing what I'm doing. 250 to 300 poles in our community, that makes a big difference just here. And then when Oklahoma reached out last year for the prison system, and what they're doing with their good behavior inmates fishing with their kids, that was our first time last year to do that. Hopefully that continues, but I honestly don't know if it's going to. No, not on my end.
Yeah,
more on theirs. But yeah, that'd be amazing to go get as many kids as we can out there. That's the point.
Well, maybe with this too, and some other people that I'm meeting and stuff like that these days. You're just being older. It's kind of crazy. Just being you're getting older, and now all the people our age are starting to do stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, oh wow, this is really cool. Maybe we can, instead of you turn into a nonprofit yourself, maybe that you could just kind of link up with them or something and have them help you out.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
that'd be ideal.
Because then maybe some of those big companies can still get their write-offs, and then that 501(c) donated to you or whatnot.
Yeah.
And then you still do your thing, and maybe can expand to the county thing, or even bigger than that.
I'd say the last 2 years, I give Sean together, Jeff Peacock in Project 2020 or Project 66, and Sean together, Men Fellowship. They've done great for this cause the last couple of years. Big donation for it, and they got a big chunk of poles. So I want to thank them for sure.
That's awesome. I love those guys. Man, I love Jeff.
Super cool. And it kind of it happened kind of organically. I reached out for him for waters for the event, and I'm like, hey, can you get some waters for the event? He's like, I'll do you one better, right? Or no, I'm lying. I'll backtrack on that. So I totally lied about it. I reached out for waters for the Kerrville floods, and he's like, I'll do one better. I'll give you a whole box truck full of equipment or full of supplies that you can drive down there. Cool. So that's what really started our relationship, and the fish poles came after that. And it just, the last 2 years, he's done amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, financially, because poles went from last year from $9.98 to $12.98.
Yeah.
And I didn't notice tariffs. I mean, not see gas like rails does, but I didn't notice the tariffs till I hit the fishing section.
Yeah.
Damn, like everyone went $5 really for this cheap ass China-made pole. Like, this is wild. So honestly, again, without them, the last couple of years, it would have been a little bit more harder to get the poles in our hands. So thank you to them.
Yeah, I've known the people from the Peacock family since I was, I guess, in high school.
Yeah.
That's kind of got introduced to the Peacock family, and then met a couple other people through here and there, and and knowing people that work for them and stuff like that. They're like some of the only people that I trust, like to come and when I take my vehicle. So if I have to take my vehicle somewhere, if I can't work on it myself, that's where I go because I know I'm not going to get screwed around. You know what I'm saying?
Super nice people. Super nice people.
So do you know about the Shine? So I don't even know about. I've seen the building and stuff that he's got.
The Project 66.
Yeah.
So from my understanding, and hopefully if I'm wrong, someone will correct me when they see this, but so it's basically a food bank. So Project 66, they're inside. They got their office building, and then you got the roll-up doors, which is basically a grocery store. But they do. I really hope I'm not wrong on this, but they do like in high schools. I don't know exactly what high schools, but they have legitimate grocery stores inside the high schools, and the students run the grocery stores for the kids that need the food. Right, so they're basically feeding hungry kids, but giving the kids responsibilities at the same time. Like they're running the store, they're doing all the things. So I'm almost certain that's what they do. And if I can remember correctly, I think it was like 7 or 8 different high schools they're in.
Oh, that's awesome,
including our own here.
Yeah.
That fund the food banks and stuff like that. And they do like disaster relief, local or Texas. So when the floods happened in Kerrville and Center Point, I just was going to go down there and help in any way I could. So I reached out for him for waters, just simply waters. He's like, how about I just load the whole box truck up and you drive down there? It's even awesome, better. So me and Fonzie, which is actually Jeff's cousin, drove the truck down there and did what we did down there. Unload the truck, and then we ended up on a search. Ended up the lead man on a search and recovery team. So it's just without Jeff Peacocks in that moment in the truck, it may not happen the way it happened. As far as Center Point goes, and the fishing poles, like they did great. Men of Shine, not just Jeff Peacock, but the Men of Shine and Project 66 did amazing in all of those things.
Man, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really because I was thinking. Couple cases of water and a couple gallons of bleach.
Yeah.
And he's like, here's a truck.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it was super cool. Awesome. And that's where I found my girlfriend now. So it was God's plan. Like it was definitely God's plan.
So what was Kerrville like there when you went down there? Like, did you go down there like right after it happened, or was it?
Yeah. So it happened July 4th. I think it was July 4th weekend, and then so I went down to July 10th was my first weekend there. And at that point, it was search and recovery, and we just, the smells were just. I'll never forget some of the stuff.
Yeah.
Talking about it doesn't do it justice. The pictures don't do it justice. It was just utter chaos, and the people that were there were doing their absolute best. And I give them all the credit in the world because it was chaos. I mean, the theft alone was insane. People would. Because you got piles and piles and mountains of debris and tree trunks, and they're handing out like these $1,000 chainsaws for people to cut the stuff to find these people, and people are still in this shit. You know, and then we went back. So I did a total of 7. 6 days there, and the second weekend I went back. We did basically focus on just the donation hub, which was a school that turned into the donation hub, and you're having to mark off all the barcodes because everybody's taking this shit back. But where there's chaos, there's money.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But that aside, people really humanity stepped in. It was like that alone was really cool to see.
Yeah.
You gotta get amongst all the chaos and the smells and the destruction. Just seeing everybody there was really, really, really cool and gave you a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, all right. Yeah, thanks. And HEB did more than FEMA did, bro.
Man, I saw I can't remember where I was going. It might have been A&M or something to go down and see the kid, but me and my wife were just cruising down 35 and seeing like HEB trucks and seeing Louisiana Fire Department, Oklahoma Fire Department. Like, they were just a big caravan.
Yeah, the Cajun Navy did badass down there too, man.
I mean, it was like nuts.
Down there. Yeah.
Like seeing all these other, people going down there from other states to help, and donating their resources with their airboats, and whatever they could.
So I did Harvey too. I drove down to Harvey. I just threw some boxers and a couple T-shirts in the back of the car and all that's Harvey. Didn't know what to expect when I got down there, and Harvey was bad. Harvey was really, really, really bad. The difference is, not saying one was worse than the other, but the difference is like with Harvey was rising water. Now you're on the creeks and it's rushing. Like I was in Cypress in Houston, and it was pretty bad. It was really bad. It was really bad. The rising water don't have shit on rushing water.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the top of the river. It's all rock bottom, so there's no mud to soak it up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just 70 miles of brute force water just demolishing everything in its path. Unlike rising water, it just gradually comes to you. Completely different destructions, both equally bad, but just it was different.
I remember seeing it on the videos, man, just being like, oh my God,
yeah, And it didn't do it justice, bro.
I bet
it didn't do it justice. You can smell it, see it, touch it, feel it. It didn't do it justice. It didn't do it justice, and you didn't know. I mean, it's pretty graphic, but you didn't know if it was human or animal.
Yeah.
You didn't know, until you dug in the pile and seen what it was.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's what it was.
And there was a lot of camps at the time too.
A lot
of kids and this
and that's where we were at. So we were right where I showed up was right down from Mystic. So it was one of their biggest hubs. It was right off the river, and it was their fire department, and it was right there. And it was basically ground zero for that part of the camp. And it was pretty gnarly, man. To say the least. It's pretty rough.
I bet it was.
Yeah. But it kind of feeds into my personality with the Fish Pulse for Kids. Back to that, it just kids, man. These kids are just they're going to run the world one day.
They're our future. Yeah, I mean,
So whatever we can do to break some tackles and give them a smile on our face and to save them any way we can, I think that should be number one priority.
I agree.
Number one priority, because they don't have to voice themselves. They can't do nothing themselves. It's up to us to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just sit back and let it happen, to me, you're kind of part of the problem.
Yeah, I agree.
You're like kind of accessory to this shit here. If you're just not, I'm not saying you got to. No one's perfect. You got to do everything, right?
Right.
You do something.
Something.
This is something.
Yeah. I'm trying. I don't know what it can do. I don't make a lot of money, so it's it's one of those things like.
But it does though, because I'm not, like I said, I've already told you I congratulate you on this, man, and I'm glad you're taking the step to do it, and it may take you a little bit. But like anything else, just consistency and don't stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean
Joe Rogan didn't do it overnight.
That's true. That's true. So, and I've been kicking this thing around, dude. You don't have to take it back to me or anything, but
no, please. That's what I want. You got to.
Yeah, that's true.
Let yourself do shit.
But before podcasts were even podcasts, like they weren't even in existence. It was just talk radio. I love talk radio.
Yeah.
Ever since I was in high school. Just people sitting around bullshitting, man. Just be like dudes like me and you talking shit and, having a good time with it. And when the internet started coming around, I was like, me and my cousins, and my buddies and stuff like that, we had some crazy stories, partying too, back in the day. We were in our early 20s and stuff like that. And,
the jackass era.
Oh, yeah. And we had, just funny stories and this and that. And I was like, man, anytime that we had people over, a big group of people, they just loved sitting there, listening to us, like banter and tell our stories and joke around and bullshit. And so, like, back then, and I'm kind of, now that an adult, I was like, I'm really glad I didn't start it back then, because like that, all my stories would have been documented. That's probably not the best thing. But time and time, and I've been kicking around for the last few years of just, man, I want to do it, but do I want to put myself out there? Because the comment section is crazy, dude, and can I handle that? And I ran for office a few years ago, back in 2023, and And I won. There was some things that happened out of my control where I could not take office. So I had to turn it down. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't anything that I didn't want. I wanted to do it. I wanted to be a part of the council and try to help the community, but I couldn't. And that hurt.
Yeah.
I didn't get a lot of backlash online, but I got some. There was a lot of people that were, well, that's shady and this and that. And then I was like, I promise there's nothing shady about it. Like, it was just one of those things that I couldn't do it.
Oh, yeah, everybody online has their own opinions, no shit.
Right. And I've come to the realization that it's not a real place.
Yeah.
It's not. This right here is a real place where people are actually having a conversation face to face, because those people that were saying those things ain't going to say it to my face.
Yeah, it was. If I'd have gotten, if social media would have been around when we were kids or when I got in trouble, I mean, now you can look it up. It's public knowledge. I'm open to that now. But yeah, I'd have been canceled quick.
For sure, man.
For sure. And without even like giving me any kind of a what's the word for understanding or appreciation of the fact that I messed up. I didn't continue to be a statistic. Was I at the time and before? Absolutely. But unfortunately, took getting in trouble to realize like, oh shit.
And it's one of those things too. Is like I have a few buddies that have a past. And it's that moment.
Everybody does. They just don't get caught. That's the only difference.
The thing. I was gonna say, dude. Yeah. I grew up in Covington, Texas, dude.
Yeah.
There's some things that I did too that I was a part of too, and it was just like, man, like I could have been in major trouble.
Yeah, I mean, my teenage years, I kicked doors in, I fought, drugs, sex, alcohol, theft, arson. I mean, I was wild, really, really, really bad. But I was left to my own devices. I had parents, but they weren't there. Sorry, mom, dad. But it was what it was.
Yeah. No, you're good. I'm just gonna try.
And
trying to find a sweet spot for you.
But I keep bringing it up before too. So I don't know where I stand with that, but
yeah, I mean, but no, I get it, dude. You got caught.
Yeah, I got caught. I did it in front of everybody. It didn't fucking 100 people at the party. It's in trouble, But again, I did. I'm glad it happened, because I think if it didn't happen, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. And I love life, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it wasn't for on the spiritual part of it, I'm not a religious person, but I'm also not naive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's something out there that's kept me on this path.
Oh, 100%.
To make me make the decisions I've made prior and before. I'm a huge believer in free will. Like, I'm not even mad at you for making the decision you made. Now, will I tiptoe around it? Will I treat you in a different way? Because, but you have your free will, just like I have mine.
I'm the same way.
Like, I'm not mad at you for making that decision. Just don't be mad at me when I walk a different direction. And that's kind of how I've lived my life up to that point. Because I still have a lot of friends that are so wild, even at 40. Like, how are you doing this shit at 40, 50, 60? You know what I mean? Like, you go to the bar every weekend, and you got, like, we were kids, which was wild because you're 50 years old and you go to the bar, and then all of a sudden after the bar closes, you got all these 22-year-olds on your back porch drinking beer out of your refrigerator on your back patio.
Yeah.
I can't be that 50-year-old. You can, that's cool. I ain't mad at you for it. Just don't get upset at me when I don't show up to your back patio.
Yeah, right.
It's super simple. Do what you do. Do what you do. And I'll stay in the woods and I'll do what I do.
Yeah, man. I've seen you on Facebook. You've had some really good adventures, man. And I'm not gonna lie. I've been like, dang, that looked like when you went to Hawaii. That looked like a whole lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
I saw you.
I apologize, man. I got to pee so bad.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, we'll pause this.
Thank you. This is pretty cool, man. It's still weird, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, for sure.
I've done a few test runs to try to get used to it and everything, and try to, kind of lock in a little bit. I gotta admit the headphones is a game changer because you really get locked in.
Yeah. That's what that's. It's funny you say that because I was so concerned about the 3-hour part.
Yeah.
But the headphones on yeah, agreed.
Yeah. I mean, then you just get to talking and then it just kind of takes off.
And so about the Hawaii thing, man, it was I guess you're back on.
Yeah.
So that I back to probation to get in trouble. I've never been out of the state of Texas ever that I can remember anyway. And they let me off probation at 29, and at 30 I was in Hawaii. First time I'd ever been in the state of Texas. And we went on vacation, was there, and then come home, and I was in a relationship that was just really toxic. That relationship ended, and then my oldest son, his mom and I, which still this day we're best friends, is best man at their wedding. Her and I and my oldest just sold everything we had and moved to Hawaii, and moved in with my niece that was stationed in Hawaii. And it was my fault. We come home. I was still so fresh on this whole freedom thing. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have a babysitter no more. You know what I mean? For 10 years, I was having to check in and piss in a cup and watch my P's and Q's. And ultimately, I'm kind of all over the place with this, but ultimately, it's kind of what made me into who I am, because I was able to call it what you want, but I kind of became a chameleon. You know what I mean? I was able to kind of fit in where I needed to, say where I needed to, act how I needed to, because probation molded you that way.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go back to prison, so I was be who you need me to be right now, sir. You know what I mean? So when they let me off that, I'm like, what happens now? So I went to Hawaii, and we couldn't afford it. We were living with my niece. Some internal turmoil happened. We were there for like 8 months. Moved back to Texas, and then I've been back twice since, just a backpack for 5-6 days, just the coastline. But that's, again, I've always been in the nature, growing up and all those things, like I said earlier. But I took it for granted. I didn't know any different. You know, like, to me, that was just life. And it's life now, but now there's a meaning behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now, that's, when I got on probation, I went to Hawaii, that's what started the whole bug of just, I could die today, go to prison today, anything can happen today. So, I want to haul ass. And then once I'm there, help some people while I'm there, give them some food, bus fare, or whatever, volunteer if I try to make it, like, if I'm somewhere longer than 3 or 4 days, I'd like to volunteer somewhere, you know, just to get back. Fortunately, I haven't done it lately because I'm kind of riding the fun wave.
Yeah, I understand.
But yeah, to Hawaii, that was super dope. That's what started my gypsiness.
Yeah,
was that. I like, all right, let's go, and I haven't stopped since. So,
you know, we all have those moments too. Because, like, so with me, back in, I guess it was like 2018, 2019-ish, somewhere in there. You know, I got married and new stepkid, stuff like that, and I got pretty big at this point. Like, I was like 350 pounds.
Yeah.
And we didn't have the greatest start to our relationship, and I don't know. I can get into that if you want to, but that's a long
it's longer than 3 hours.
It's a long story. But, you know, I got big, and I've been wanting to do something about it. I didn't like where I was, didn't like myself, you know, and I guess you'd call it just depression, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And I took it out on alcohol and food, you know. Yeah. And my son he was a Boy Scout, he's an Eagle Scout now, my stepson. And he wanted to go to Philmont, which is like a scout trip where you're just in the mountains for 12 days, you're carrying everything on your back, and, you know, every day you wake up and you go to another campsite, you know, you've got to hike there, and there's mountains, there's all sorts it's a huge ranch out there just for Boy Scouts, and it's freaking awesome, man. But I had to get down to 200 pounds to go on that trip, so I had to lose 150 pounds, and I had 2 years to do it, and I did it. It was a lot of work. I mean, it was, you know, I was running, I was lifting weights, I was, you know, practicing on the Stairmaster with my backpack on at the gym, and everybody's looking at me like I'm crazy. And I remember I ran into you when I was on that journey doing that too. And going out, man, that was one of the best times of my entire life. Like, seeing all that stuff, experiencing everything. And ever since then, I'm like, man, I just want to go back. And I've been wanting to go hunting or, you know, something on like public land, you know, not like guided or anything. Just go get lost. You know, just go get lost. Yeah. You know, my wife doesn't really like the idea of me going on my own, but I've told her, like, I'm probably going to end up, like, just snapping and going. And we got Starlink, man. We got Starlink now. I was like, I could just get that and be fine. But it would be cool to have a buddy, just to have somebody to talk to. But I'm thinking about, like, just going. And
I'm ready to New York, homie. I'm ready to New York. But I'm that way. I do a lot of things. And that's kind of what's helped some. I like myself.
Yeah.
Like, being alone, I don't mind it. Like, I go to the movies by myself. I go to the restaurant by myself. I get lost in the woods for weeks by myself. Like, I don't mind. I like myself.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a long time to get there. It took me a lot of honestly psilocybin. You know, a lot of internal reflections.
Oh yeah.
But I got there, and I wouldn't change it for the world. People don't understand me. Like, I always had a problem. People sound so unhumble, but this is one reason why I hesitate on doing the podcast, because I don't like talking about myself a lot. Like, I found like an ego thing there. People like the idea of me until they get with me, and they're like, "Hey, you really do this." Like, what you see on social media is my life. Like, this isn't a front. I will go lay on the rock for 3 days. You know what I mean? Like, I will go get lost for 3 or 4 days. It's okay with me. Like, I enjoy that. If you don't go to the board, that's cool. If you don't want to go to that, again, free will. All right? Like, free will. But I do recommend it. I recommend to go get lost. Like, people have my my location, but I just switched to Verizon. They fucking suck. So good luck finding me there. But yeah, I always tell them, like, at least they know about where I'm at. But I think you should go, man. If your life in the moment allows you to go, just go. And people stop themselves because they overthink it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about this? What about that? They're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna be fine. They just overthink it. It's super simple. Just go.
Yeah.
Just make a decision.
Well, I agree with what you're saying.
I hope you do go, man.
Because it's one of those things, you know, we could die tomorrow.
Every day.
And you know, my job, it's kind of cool, like, you having your own business too and being able to work just as much as you want. I like that. To me, is very inspiring, because, you know, if I die tomorrow, dude, a week later they're gonna have my job posted.
And then now, do I have an egg nest? No, right? But I'm not worried about the egg nest. Like, most people are stuck in the matrix of worrying about that.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm not, yes, to an extent, but again, the way I was raised and what I seen growing up, and back to my grandma was a huge example to me. It was, at one point she had a lot of money, you know, and then for her to die with a box of pictures,
yeah, dude,
and then, like, this doesn't make sense to me. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I'd rather go do what I can when I can, while I can, and the chips will fall whether they made when I'm 80 or 70, if I make it that far.
Yeah.
If I don't know. I mean, I'll be 80. If I'm in bad shape and shitting on myself, then I don't care anyway at this point. I hope I'm great at 80. I hope I'm still climbing mountains at 80. But I want to do it until I can't.
Yeah, right. I'm the same way. I always tell my wife I hope I go out with my boots on.
Yeah.
I don't want to be worthless.
Yeah. If I get sick, like terminally sick, I'll be like a dog. You know, when a dog runs off and dies, that's going to be me. Like, I want to be the dog just runs off and dies.
Yeah.
You know.
I told my wife the same thing,
yeah,
dude. I was like, listen, I'm not gonna do treatment that puts you in debt, you know, to where you'll never get out of it in your entire life. You know, just to see me live 6 months or 8 months or a year.
If the percentage doesn't fall in my favor, then I'm probably not going to do it.
I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I'm just like, it's just,
like,
that's it.
If it's a 50-50 chance, okay. If it's a 40 chance they're not doing it, well, I'm probably not going to do it then. You know, like, just write it out.
Especially if it's, one of those things where, you're hundreds and thousands of dollars in debt, and then you die, and then you can't, you just leave that to your family. Like, I can't go out in good conscience.
Eat fruit, vegetables, and do some mushrooms and smoke some pot and hope for the best.
Right.
Because what's the rest of it? Pharmaceuticals and chemo?
Yeah, that's another thing.
Again, chemo works. I've seen it work for sure. But me personally, depending on the 50% or 50-50, I'm like, I don't know, man.
I mean, they're literally getting your body on the brink of death anyway to rebuild itself.
You can live 4 more years if you do the chemo. Fuck that chemo, man. Just let me eat fruits, vegetables, and smoke some pot, do some mushrooms, and go hike.
Yeah.
And wherever the chips fall, they fall, man. Like, because it's on my terms.
Right.
I don't want it on yours. I want it on his. I want it on mine. I don't want it on yours. Because your terms obviously don't work, or you wouldn't be having the epidemic that you have.
Yeah.
And so let's just.
And, I'm the same way about the pharma stuff. People are on medication, and that's totally fine to me. I mean, I'm not judging. If you take medication or anything like that.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, I'm on testosterone replacement.
I'm not anti.
I'm not anti at all.
I'm not anti anything.
It's just that I don't even take aspirin for a headache.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not anti anything. It all has its purpose.
Correct.
It all has its reasons for being there. If it's not going to work, and if you don't know it's going to work, then why am I going to take something you don't know? There's a reason. For me, it's called practicing medicine.
Yeah.
So I'm just your test dummy.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, you're just practicing this on me right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I would rather take it in my own hands and figure out what I can. I'll do what I think's necessary in the moment. I would think, pray about it and see what happens. But yeah, I want to go out on my own terms for sure. So that's good. That's where it stems from, just hauling butt, man. Then the probation. Again, I was tied down for so long. I went from being. Again, my whole child from we'll say 5, decent memories, to 14 of being abused, hit, or seeing things you shouldn't see, living a life the kids shouldn't be living, to finally fighting back at 14, and then by the time I'm 14, I'm angry, very angry. So I'm really fighting back, and I'm fighting everybody, and then I get locked up and then do probation. So until I was 29, I'm 40 now, so 11 years, I finally get to live life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not letting this motherfucker go.
Yeah, I can't.
For 11 years, I've only get to do this for 11 years so far. And I've done a lot of cool shit in 11 years. I've done more in 11 years, thank God, than most people have done in their whole lives. And I'm very blessed in that sense. And so I'll ride this wave as long as the Lord lets me.
Man.
And I will contribute to the community and to the people around me the whole time. Like, this is, like, I live my life, and we're talking about the adventures and the hikes and this and that, but there's a lot of things that happen between there that just don't get talked about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I don't really necessarily talk about them, because that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
You do it in silence.
You're supposed to.
I keep you always keep a bag in your truck, or food in your truck, or soap in your truck, or water in your truck. You see a guy outside, the little things, those little things. But yeah.
No, I completely agree with you on that, man. Because all of us have had a life, and we've only looked through it through that one lens.
Yeah.
Right here, there are 2 eyes, and understanding that we're all human beings, and how we deal with things, and what we've had to deal with in the past, and Joe Rogan, you brought him up earlier, he says it best: the worst thing that's ever happened to you is only the worst thing that's ever happened to you. I mean, there's a lot of people out there, just a flat tire is the worst thing that's ever happened to them, and then you've got people that have lived a whole life of abuse, and getting stepped on, and drugs, and all sorts of stuff, and think about it, maybe some people do make the decisions to get on drugs or this or that, but maybe it wasn't their decision. Maybe they get pigeonholed into this or that.
And the doctor gives it to them, and it goes from there.
That's one of the biggest things ever, because somebody wanted to get rich.
Yeah.
They paid a bunch of people off to say that these studies, were true and this and that, and they're, that hydrocodones weren't addictive. And now, obviously, everything's come out. And if you think that that's the first time that's happened in the big pharmaceutical company, man, I got to tell you, you got to go do some reading, because it happens more than you would actually think. They can know that a drug is going to kill 6 to 15% of people, but they're like, but the rest that we're going to make is we're going to make billions still, even after we go to the lawsuit and do billions of payouts. We got billions.
That's another thing I was hesitant to talk about, because my son's going to listen to this. He's like, I'm very open with my son, my oldest. I've always spoken, even as a young child, I have this thing, and my youngest now is 5. I'm going to tell it to you whether you understand it or not. I'm still going to voice it. And so I've always been that way with my boys. But the one thing I've always kind of kept secret, because I was very functioning, no one knew besides the people that knew. For 13 years, I was on pain pills. I was very, very, very functioning. You never see me nod out. I never went to the streets. Again, I was very hesitant on this, because he's going to listen to it. But I'm hoping it helps someone else in one of those moments. For 13 years, so when I was 15, we'll say 16, my mom handed me some pain pills to sell for her to pay for the lot bill. And from 16 to 23, I sold her pain pills. From fentanyl patches to oxys, hydrocodone, triaminols, all the pain pills that Big Pharma made, or Purdue made, I had in my hands. Plus. And so from 16 to 23, I never took a pain pill. And at 23, I took my first one for a party drug. And then I continued to do it for a party drug until it no longer becomes a party drug. And then you're taking the oxy not to feel sick. I mean, you got no more. But now you're going to go through withdrawals, and you don't feel sick. So it's been over 2 years now since I've had my last pain pill. And I did it with I didn't want to do it anymore. There was no rehab, there was no NAs. I tried a million times over the years to try to stop. But again, it was, this is the hard one for me, because it's super personal. It was, hey, come change a light bulb for me, I'll give you some oxys. Okay. I didn't have to go to the streets, it was in my hand all day long, every day. Until I've always been really big after my boys were born, more specifically came to me at 17, it was break cycles. And I'd like to think, I have, there's no doubt about it, I have broke a ton of cycles. But that's that one cycle I couldn't break, and I was taking it fucking personal. I was really mad at myself, because I'm watching the people in my life that's still in that cycle just dwindle. I'm like, I have all the cycles I've broken, this is the one I can't seem to break, and this is pissing me off the most. And I was done. I woke up and I said I was done. And I haven't touched it over 2 years. And the prescription pain pills is a big one. And now it's fentanyl, so I really don't go to the streets. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so not worth it. 2 years of being, I've done so much cool shit being high. Like, I got pictures of me on top of mountains and diving, but diving at the bottom of oceans and rivers, and I got oxy in my system, right? Because I'm not high, I'm very functioning. I just don't want to be sick, and I get really mad at myself because I'm like, all the cool shit I did
was a little numb.
I was numb to, and I could do even more cool shit. You know what I mean? Like, because I was high. The 2 weeks I was withdrawing or detoxing, I could have been doing more shit. So, me personally, the last 2 years, I've seen myself do even more shit than what I used to do, because now I don't have that. I don't have that vice. I gotta get home because I gotta get this, or I'm running out, so I have to get back to get this. So now I get to stay a little longer than what I used to. And it's just, life is so much better, man. So much better.
Congratulations
Yeah,
on that.
thank you. So I was very hesitant on saying that because, again, I know he's going to watch it. But if it helps him, it helps anybody, please just know.
Yeah.
Or just balls up. But if you can do it yourself, cool. If you can't, don't be scared to get help.
Yeah. What was it like with the withdrawals on that? Because you said, how long did you take them?
13 years.
13 years.
Yeah, 13 years.
Time.
Yeah, consistent every day. Well, until the times I was trying to stop. Right, like if I didn't happen, it's because I consciously didn't want to go get them. It was bad, man. I mean, night sweats and irritabilities, and I lost some relationships, and it caused problems in relationships. Take full responsibility for that. But it was what it was, man. I was a product of my environment, and I didn't. Again, it was that one cycle I couldn't break, and I took it very personal because I broke all the rest of them, and there are some bad ones that I won't talk about. But that one was like, okay, I'm not going to be this.
Well, it's nothing to be ashamed of, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you actually said something about it, because it's nothing to be ashamed of. Because, man, it doesn't matter. One thing that I try to tell everybody, because people have looked at me too, and they're like, I lost all that weight, and I'm in shape, and what gives you motivation, man? I'm going to tell you right now, motivation is not there. Almost every single day, I don't want to go and work out. I don't want to go on that run.
Motivation is a dangerous word.
It is the stupidest word to me when it comes to something like that. There is no motivation. It's discipline.
Yeah.
And disciplines don't come overnight. Or a choice. They don't come overnight either. It's something you have to work towards. And ask anybody that's ever done anything. Ask a preacher that's a preacher, and ask him, oh, did you just, turn into this perfect, and they're not perfect, but I'm just saying, did you turn into this person over? No. It was years and years and years of practice that got them that way. Anybody that's an expert on anything, they didn't just become an expert. It was years and years and years of practice that got them that. You don't become a black belt in jiu-jitsu, in a couple of years. Dude, that's a decade at least of hardcore training that you've had to do. Lots of pain, lots of injuries, lots of fighting through yourself of going like, why can't I just do this one thing? But you just stick with it, you know what I mean, until you become something. And then when you get there, guess what happens? You're not there. It's not like you're like, all right, I made it. You got to continue to keep that practice.
It's crazy. It's funny that you use that analogy in the sports world, and I also use, because I use that same analogy when it comes to your mental too.
100%.
Right? So I've always had a good heart. Right? I've always been a good human, and I try to be anyway. Right?
Yeah,
perfect, same. Right? Like I try to be. And even as a child, I was that way. But I was a product of my environment, so I didn't know how. Like being soft was being weak. You couldn't be weak. You got ate up. So probation, honestly, it saved my life in so many ways because it allowed me to become weak. It gave me an excuse not to do these bad things when I never really wanted to. Like I did them. I made the conscious free will decision to do these things I've done, but that wasn't who I was. And it was kind of one of those things, you fake it till you make it, and you become, like for me, when I got on probation, I wouldn't do anything right, just never got caught, but it fundamentally, I acted good until I became good. Does that make sense?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, then it just became who I was. Like, I was acting good not to get in trouble, but the longer I acted, that's really who I was. So, yeah.
No, I 100% agree with that, man. And, I read a lot of books. I've always kind of had this, like, something inside of me that's like I'm bigger than just what I'm just showing up to work every day and just doing what I got to do and then coming home, And so I've read a lot of like leadership books. I've read a lot of business books. I've had a small business some way or another the last like 8 years of my life. Right now it's pretty simple. I just take care of a little clinic. Just go mow and do the bushes or whatever.
Yeah.
And I get an extra couple $100 a month to ride off some tools,
Right.
and some lawnmowers and it's nothing that big, but it's a little extra for when it happens. But it is, man, like you're not just somebody that you want to be because you want to be that person. And just because it doesn't happen overnight, or just because it doesn't happen over a couple of years, it doesn't mean you're never going to be that person.
Yeah.
So,
consistency.
The way that I look at it is, if you're just better today than you were yesterday, and that's all you got to be.
Yeah.
And guess what? That's not going to happen every day either. Something's going to happen, and you're going to backslide, and you're going to swear at somebody in traffic or whatever. Whatever. It's the accountability and recognizing that and going, okay, well, I did this, and I don't want to do that again. So, and I'm the guy, man. Like, it doesn't matter. I'd swear and yell at people in traffic all the time, but immediately after that, I'm like, man, God, bless that person, and not let them hurt anybody else, not let them hurt themselves. Hopefully they just made a stupid mistake. Because who hasn't made a stupid mistake in traffic, And we all get mad, but it's one of those things. You're cruising 70 miles an hour, so you're already in a high stress situation, and then somebody does something, you're like, you could have killed me, you son of a bitch.
Flipping through the law.
Yeah, and then you're like, all right, calm down a little bit.
Yeah, not everything's an emergency.
And one thing is giving ourselves that little bit of grace, too, and forgiving ourselves for, because I'm that person too. When I set my mind to do something, I get really determined. But when I myself sabotage it, guess who I'm mad at? I'm mad at myself. Like, why did you choose to do this? Why did you've done all this and now you ruined it? And it's not really the case. You're not ruining anything.
Yeah.
You got to go back to like, okay, we'll just be better tomorrow.
Yeah.
Be better tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a reason we're called individuals, man.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason we're called individuals, and I don't. Kind of off topic, on topic. Back to the psilocybin. That's honestly what changed my life. To be honest with you, I would have done it anyway because I already had the heart and the mind to do it, and the want to do it. But that was the catapult for me, for sure, because if you've never done it, and the people who have done it will know what I'm talking about. When you do psilocybin stuff, it brings everything you're running from and puts it right into your forehead and kicks you right in the face and says, "Fuck you, here I am." Like, there is no running, because you're running from yourself and you can't. So when you do those types of things, it forces. Like, people call it bad trips, quote unquote, but they're not bad trips. What it does is it puts all this stuff in front of your face, and then you come out of it back into reality here, and then you're like, you reflect on what you just went through, and like, I'm not gonna do that no more because it made me feel like shit, right? So it's not a bad trip. It's actually a really good trip, because you come out recognizing and acknowledging that what just kicked you in the face and what's in your mind and won't leave you alone, you have to face it and fix it. And that's what changed my life, because I did that. I started doing them heavier. I don't do it heavy anymore, but once I got on probation, that was kind of my outlet. Like, I gotta figure something out here, because again, I'm losing control here because I have no babysitter. Like, I have nothing to hold me down no more, to keep me accountable. So here I am, 30 years old, and I have to keep myself accountable now. And I didn't know what I was doing. I went a little wild for a couple of years because I didn't know. I was new, and then I started doing that stuff, and it just now I'm tattooed in them. It changed. I went from, you can call it a drug, and you can from one vice to another, but this ain't killing me.
Yeah,
this ain't killing me.
So I've read tons of studies on it too.
PTSD, addictions.
The fact that it's starting to come around now, that they're actually the studies with especially like PTSD with like veterans and stuff like that, but there's like psilocybin, there's like DMT,
DMT. That was the biggest one for me. DMT was the biggest. Was the catalyst of the trajectory of, I don't know if I'm saying all that right, but of what got me on the lane that I am today was the DMT, to be honest with you.
And now like Ibogaine is another big one.
Yeah.
So Rick Perry, our old governor.
Yeah.
I don't know if you keep up with politics or whatever, but even back in the day when he was governor, he was like real hard-nosed conservative, like no drugs, no alcohol, kind of well, not no alcohol, I guess, but no drugs type person. And now he's advocating for Ibogaine to be legal here in the States and stuff like that because of the studies that he's seen and what it does for veterans and their PTSD and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, these people were going to other countries to do these things and to get this treatment to help them out, man. And why are we saying that these natural things, DMT, your own brain makes that.
Mm-hmm.
Psilocybin, it's a mushroom that grows in the damn ground.
No.
Ibogaine is like a synthetic version of whatever I heard.
Like ketamine.
Everything that I've heard about Ibogaine, it's not pleasant. Like it's not. There is no pleasantries about it. Like it is.
Again, it's not in the moment that you're looking for. It's the aftermath.
Correct.
That's what gets you, because you have 9 times out of 10. Okay, I'll say 7 times out of 10. I may have a bad moment when I'm doing it, but I've done it long enough to I know it's going to end.
Yeah.
You just go like, okay, this is mental. Is it going to kill me? It's just a mental thing. I get through it, and once you come out of it, like everything's, whew, I get it now.
Yeah,
I get it now.
That's fast.
And I forever people would tell me, because I've always been kind of open about it, and I would get people, oh, you're running a business, yeah, but again, I'm not Leslie's or Walmart.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to impress you. Like I'm going to be who I'm going to be. I'm very open about. I'm not on probation no more. I smoke pot and I take the psilocybin. It is, and a 6-pack lasts me a week. Like it doesn't.
There's nothing
I
wrong
don't
with
take
it.
pharmaceuticals. It's psilocybin every once in a while, THC, and that's cool. You know what I mean? You can keep your Xanax in your purse and your wine in your refrigerator. I'm not judging you for it.
And that drives me nuts too. The fact that due to Xanax, that's legal. You just got to go see a doctor. And
how many moms you see at Hobby Lobby got a purse full of Xanax and a Stanley full of wine?
Yeah.
But they're going to judge somebody for taking some psilocybin.
Yeah, correct. I mean, because just somebody said it was. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you take psilocybin, you probably wouldn't be taking Xanax. Just saying. Right. Anyway, I can almost guarantee it. I promise you, if you take enough psilocybin, you'll leave the Xanax alone. Guaranteed.
From what I've read about it too, like I bet,
yeah, guaranteed.
It's crazy. I've read some serious like stories and stuff on it, and I don't know, man. Just the fact that it helps like veterans and stuff to me is like huge. That's huge.
It's everything.
Because they sacrificed everything and they saw buddies die.
They're the definition of PTSD.
Correct, man. They saw the worst thing you could possibly see, which is war.
And if it rewires your brain to make you happy, then what the fuck goes wrong with that?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? But again, it's all control and manipulation of pharmaceuticals. If they can't regulate it, they don't want it because they can't make the money off of it. You can grow mushrooms in your closet.
Oh, man.
Yeah. You can grow mushrooms in your closet and they can't tax you on it. Well, they don't want that shit.
It's all about money.
Who wants that?
Yeah. And it's nuts. I hate that that's where we're at.
Yeah.
And people.
So for the kids that see this,
yeah.
I don't recommend you take psilocybin or smoke THC until your brain has developed and you've got some kind of life path ahead of you.
Correct. In which your brain's not even fully developed till you're like at least 25 years old.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that 25,
I even tell my oldest, because I'm open about it to an extent, right? Like I don't sit there and smoke a blunt when we're watching Finding Nemo, right? But I'm open about it. And it's the same. Like I tell my oldest, like, listen, stay out of my shit. If you're ever curious about it, come have the conversation with me. I hope you don't do it. You're super smart. You're a super brilliant guy. Very cool guy. He's like a stoner, but never smoked weed in his life. He's just got this mentality to him. But I tell them forever, like, listen, if you do it as an adult, as long as your shit's good, like if my bills weren't paid, and life wasn't going the way I needed it to go, I wouldn't be doing it.
Right.
Right? Because it does stop you from piss tests or motivation.
Yeah.
It
Jobs.
happens.
You got jobs where you can't do stuff.
Happens,
Yeah,
right? So for any kids that hear this, don't do this shit. Or if you are doing it, stop and get your shit straight and then continue it. I don't recommend mushrooms for everybody. I don't. I recommend you try it maybe once just to see what it does to you. And if you don't like it, don't do it again. But it's not for everybody. It's just not. So, yes, for the kids that hear this, if you hear this, just don't do it until you get older, man.
No, I agree with that.
Don't do it until you get older. Until your frontal lobe and your brain develops and you kind of get some shit underneath your feet and some experience.
100%.
Yeah, it's because it's not a party drug. It's just not. It can be used as such.
From what I've heard.
But it can be used as such, but that's the wrong way to use it. If you use it the way it's, from my opinion, intended to be used, and as God, in my opinion, intended to be used, then it's a medicine. If you use it past that, then it's...
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? It's a party drug, and it's going to lead you down the wrong path. Because for me, like, I get asked, well, what is mushrooms going to do to me? Whatever they want to do to you. I can't tell you what they're going to do.
That's true.
Whatever it does to you is what it thinks it needs for you. I can't tell you because it's all different. It's different every time. And with being a child and doing it, it's going to put you maybe in a bad spot.
And I agree with that.
So let's just stay away from it.
Same thing with alcohol.
Yeah.
For
sure.
I was pretty young when I got my first taste of alcohol. So, I grew up in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to Cleveland for a while, and then grew up Covington, Texas, where I graduated from. There wasn't a lot of cops or anything else out there. It was just dude, Keystone Light and Boone's Farm is exactly
farms,
right.
Maybe some Purple Passion every once in a while.
And I wouldn't suggest that.
Not at all, man.
Not as much as I drank. It seems like anyway.
I felt like, we were poking fun about the kids not getting out of the house and going to field parties, but I'm glad they're not doing it anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, it builds a little bit of different kind of character in you. Just for social reasons alone.
For sure.
But I am damn glad, very proud of my son that he is nowhere near the young man I was. Nowhere near. Night and day, bro. Night and day. And it's just because the way he was raised. His mom's done a hell of a job. I've done a good job with him. My youngest will be the same. He's 5. And his mom and I may not see eye to eye all the time, but we know that we both have his best interest at heart, and that's what matters.
That's what matters. That's really what matters.
That's what matters. I allow her, come at me. I allow her to be a mom, and she allows me to be a dad. We may not agree with it, but she knows I'm a good dad, and I know she's a good mom, regardless of the personal conflict between us.
Mm-hmm.
We can kind of keep that separate. Has it been difficult? Did it take away? Yeah, but it got there.
I bet. It always happens.
Yeah, it got there. Because, I'm a good dad, and she's a good mom, and my boys are nothing like I was. And it's not even just a generational thing, because even that it is 2026, there still are a lot of kids that still do what we did. But the difference is now they have a cell phone every 5 seconds, so videotaping everything. We didn't have that shit.
No. None of my felonies were documented.
Yeah. So I went and visited. I went to Matagorda all weekend, and I got family down there in Matagorda, or more specifically Markham, Texas. They call it Markham Dog Pound because it can be pretty rough. You know what I mean? And these kids are still balls in the wall. Even they're not playing video games. They're fighting. They're fucking. And they're drugging. But they're also videotaping.
Yeah.
So that's I'm like, all right, guys, leave the video to you.
Yeah, I know, man.
I wish you wouldn't do any of it, but let's not incriminate you guys. You're doing
Yeah, no kidding. I'm so glad.
Like they're showing me videos. I'm like, you probably shouldn't have recorded that one.
Well, I mean, it's so crazy though. But I mean, just so I've taken a big step back online. Like, I've limited myself. The 2 apps that I got onto were, Facebook and X. Facebook to scroll, see what everybody's doing that I know, and the funny memes that they post.
Yeah.
And then X was so I could see what the world's pissed off about today.
Yeah.
And then, so now I get an hour a day of both of those, like not each. That's 1 hour of being on one or the other. And it's so crazy though too, like just everything that you see people doing, all these things. But everybody's got a camera right there attached to their phone.
So we're the jackass era, and that's when it become cool. But we didn't have like they
had to go buy cameras.
Yeah, you had to go buy cameras. Yeah. But Jackass is a little bit different than what it is now. You know what I mean? Like Jackass was all fun, pranks on friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now it's.
Man, I remember the knockout thing with the kids that just going and knocking somebody out.
Yeah,
just running down the street.
Yeah, those videos like I wish motherfucker would videos. like come steal my basket in the grocery store, dude. You know, like I'm gonna go ahead and put yourself in check real quick. Yeah, it's just wild. I mean, but on like with my 17-year-old, it really is. Yes, it is how you're raised. Now, I'm not saying that good parents don't have bad kids because they absolutely do.
Yeah, and
they absolutely do. Good parents have bad kids. But I'll speak for myself. Like Camden he's 17 and doesn't have social media. He doesn't have Instagram. He doesn't have TikTok. He doesn't have Facebook. He's a Reddit kid, which I don't know if it's any different or any better. But Reddit is more of a world thing, more of a social chat room versus look at me and my appearance. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so, I agree. And I think that's where we're like, listen, when you turn 17 and you want Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, we'll have the discussion. I'm not saying you're going to get it, but we'll have the discussion, right? And his mom and I both told him this, but he still to this day doesn't have. Like, I think he had TikTok for a little bit, but he never got on it and deleted it, and that was just because people were seeing videos. But he's definitely a Reddit kid. But again, there's world versus individual.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like this whole, I gotta look this way, or I gotta have this, or I gotta have that. It's gotta look good for the gram. You know, he don't have that kind of shit. You know, so he's very old school in a sense. Well, and he's old school in a new world, and that's hard to raise, man. That's hard to raise.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I always felt like I was supposed to be born in a different decade. Yeah. I always felt like I'm an older soul than I really am. Yeah. But just the fact that, like, I have an Instagram. I never get on it. It's literally just the two that I get on. But going back to that, like with Reddit though, my experience with Reddit, I don't get on there very often, but I do get on there. But you have to ask it kind of like what you're looking for to get what you want. That's that's a big difference too. Well, that's my experience with Reddit. I don't know. There could be something else, I guess, that's out there that I don't know about. But that's another thing. Instead of just you get on the app and immediately it's just shit in your face. Or whatever, and they even know what you're looking at. If you pause for half a second, they're like, okay, he liked that, so you don't have to put the like button.
Algorithm.
It's just gonna keep sending it to you.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I'm the guy, man, like, I joke about a lot of stuff. Like, I always put my little things in there, and it doesn't matter what it is. And most of it's very inappropriate at the time. And it's like, I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings. They're like, it's just because I thought it was funny, so I said it. And, so, yeah, I mean, there'll be some things that pop up on my thing. I'm like, why does it keep showing me all this? And I was like, oh, because I sent one video to somebody.
Yeah, it's the internet's a lot like it's the new version of you are what you think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you are what you look up.
Mm-hmm.
You are what you think. That's just AI. I mean, it's a pattern recognition. Yeah, it does.
100% it does. Because 100%. What I see every day compared to what other people see other day is 100%.
Yeah, I've done it. I've looked at other people's phones to see their feeds, and it's just, again, and it's what you're thinking, it's what you're feeding, it's what your illusion is.
Been there too. Ask.
Like my algorithm is nothing but adventures, fishing, and then politics every once in a while.
Yeah.
Because they can't help that one.
Yeah.
Whether politics or not, it's fucking there.
Just get
especially TikTok.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Well, I don't have TikTok, but
I got to feed it, Danny. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. We'll break.
Yeah. So I was telling my girl, like, the biggest, like, it wasn't like the fishing poles for kids was the big thing.
Yeah.
But the other big thing was I was scared shitless to do this.
Yeah. You told me you were nervous.
Yeah, so when you're scared of doing something, that's when you got to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I'm good. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I was nervous too. I'm nervous about all this. Yeah.
Like, I'm vulnerable as shit today.
So I'm like, and that's another thing, man. I've been doing some leadership stuff here lately, and a big part of the lessons is being authentic and being vulnerable. Especially us as men. We've grown up to like, hey, man, like what you said earlier. Vulnerability is weak, and I've always kind of wore my emotions on my sleeve a little bit. I let people know when something bothered me or whatever, when it's not just like joking around.
Right.
And so when it started like to come down to do this, I was like, man, should I do it? But I was full steam ahead. It was like something inside of me that wouldn't even let that get in the way. And the closer that it came to start doing this, it started getting like, oh crap, it's more real.
Yeah.
And when you told me, you were like, yeah, I'm nervous. And I was like, I texted you back immediately. I was like, there's nothing to be nervous about, man. We're just going to sit down and talk. And then right after I tapped that, I was like, you bitch, you're nervous too. Like, you should have said something, but I didn't, but I didn't want to be like, I don't know, I didn't want you to feed off me.
My nervousness comes not for myself, because I am an open book. Matter of fact, I've been told a lot of my life I overshare.
Me too.
Yeah. It was more, it was, I know who's listening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, but it's my life.
I was going to say,
this is, I hate this term because it's a way overused, but it's my truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so if it helps somebody, anybody, at least one person, especially my boys, because my oldest, he's like, he asked me what the podcast name was, all these things, so him and his friends are going to have a listen party when it comes out.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, so I'm like, damn, I really want to kind of go into certain things, but his friends may be going through it.
Yeah.
And he may one day go through it. Again, good parents have troubled kids. It's just the way it works. I'm not a perfect parent, right? As of today, as of I know, my oldest has never done any drugs. He's never drank alcohol. But he's only 17.
Man, I gotta say, at 17.
At 17, I wasn't popping pills either.
Yeah.
Not prescriptions,
Yeah. I wasn't popping pills, but I was definitely drinking it.
Drugging and drinking it said, but I'll say the pharmaceutical pills, I'll say that. But that's kind of where my nervousness was. I had the stage fright like everybody else does, like the sound of your voice or a picture of your underwear when you're talking situation. But it was more of, quote unquote, my grievances that I've had that people are going to hear. That made me more nervous than anything else. But
man,
it is.
But you've lived a life, man, and look what you're doing now.
Yeah, I've done some cool shit, man. Like I say this a lot now. Even at 40, if I die today, I'm happy, bro. Like I really am happy because I had a shitty life most of my life. I don't want to say shitty life. I've got great memories for sure. Just there were some rough ones too. But I've done a lot of cool things. I've seen a lot of cool views. I've helped a lot of people, you know. I've done some cool things. And as long as that's instilled in my voice, that's all that matters to me. If I die today, I know without a shadow of a doubt, especially my oldest, because he's 17 versus 5, that he's going to be okay. You know, there's one thing I tell him too, that like, if I do die today, do not use my death as an excuse to go downhill.
Right.
Because if you do, bro, all you do is piss on me.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything, all the cycles I've broken, all the things I've tried to do, all you're doing is pissing on it. And if it's possible to come back and haunt your ass, I fucking will, I promise you. Because my dad died and I was so close to him and I don't want to do this. No, don't do that shit, bro. You know what I mean? Like, continue with the fishing poles or don't, or find what I'm getting.
Find your own thing.
You know what I mean? Do something, man. Just don't go down a fucking hill because your dad died.
Yeah.
You know, we all die, bro. You know, we all die.
And
don't go down a hill because of it.
Those are great words. Those are fantastic words, brother. Because, you know, my stepson's father's not a very good person, and you know, he's in A&M and civil engineering program.
Nice.
Good for him, bro. He's got a very good grade point average. He is gonna have to go like one semester longer than his initial 4 years, but I mean, it's hard to get all your classes worked in, you know, and you got to get them in and stuff like that. But I'm super proud of him, and the hand that, you know, he was dealt, he could have taken that road and said, "Oh, I just made an excuse," and he didn't. And I couldn't be more proud of him that he didn't make any excuse.
That's what I was telling my nephew this weekend. Again, down in Markham, and they call it Markham Compact because it's a four-way stop town, and it's pretty rough. It's in a lot of ways. And he's like, "Yeah, I got a 3.8, and I'm doing good in school." I'm like, "Yeah, it's cool, but those grades ain't gonna do shit for you when you're sitting in prison.
Yeah,
You're just smart as fuck, bro. But the way you fight and how much you fight, coming from a guy who fought every day of his life, it only takes that one fight, bro. And then your grade point average don't make a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you get it. Like, I'm proud of you, but let's not use that as a flex. Let's use breaking the cycles of your anger as a flex. Because this school don't make a fuck once you graduate. Once you graduate, that's irrelevant.
And
it's so irrelevant.
I would tell anybody, you like to fight, just go get in some martial arts.
Yeah. Well, that's what that was the good thing. Is he's showing me videos. And I did the same thing when I was a kid. We would put boxing gloves on, just turn lights off and beat the shit out of each other. Or we'd get in the back of a U-Haul van and lights off and the bowling ball rolling around with boxing gloves. We were just being jackass here, right? But now they're having with hay fights. Everybody circles around with hay bales and they put gloves on and they box. Like, that's cool. Keep it that way. If you want to fight, there's a huge difference between doing what you're doing there and then fighting out of anger because someone's called you the N-word or someone called you a bad, like, that's a huge difference, bro. If you're a fighter, fight with gloves on and fight in the ring /hay. Cool. But you just fighting to be fighting, your grade point average don't make a shit, dude.
Yeah, man. That first time you knock somebody out, they hit the concrete.
It's done.
And
it's done.
And it kills somebody.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, honestly, it could.
You know, so that's what got me out of the strip club industry. I did everything in the strip club industry, from doorman to manager. I did it all. And I was still on 10 years probation for the assault charge at 18. And I was dragging this guy out, and he was hyped up on meth, like fresh out of prison. And he was a smaller guy, like a lot smaller than even what I was smaller than too, but even what I was then was smaller than me. And I put him in a full Nelson. I'm trying to drag him out the doors. Well, he's lifting my big ass compared to him, lifting me up off my feet, and he's still fighting another manager the whole time. Like, it's an all-out brawl. Well, and then I end up in a chokehold, and I'm dragging him out, and all I did, it's all on cameras, and they're like, let him go. So all I did was release my arms. When I did, he was out. I didn't know he was out, and his head bounced off the concrete, and he put it in ICU. And the only thing that saved my ass is when the paramedics get there, he started fighting the paramedics. plus the videotape of me literally just dropping my arms, right? So between me we didn't show the other videotapes, so the other man was beating that.
Yeah.
But all I did was let him go, and then he started fighting the EMTs when they got there. And in that moment, I was like, I'm done. Because it only takes that one. I'd already been through it.
Yeah.
And it took that one fight to send me to prison, and here I am again. At this point, 8 years later, I'm in the same situation, except for the first situation, I take full responsibility for. This situation, I was just trying to do my job.
I let it go,
and it put me in a hell of a situation. And I already had my son at that point too. I was like, I'm done. I gotta get out of here. Gotta get out of here.
A bouncer job to me is like pretty crazy. Just because the fact is, how do you not have that mentality of it's us against them?
You can't.
I mean, you can't.
You can't.
Because y'all are all working, trying to do a job, trying to keep the club safe, whatever it is, the venue. I mean, seriously, wherever bouncing you're doing, you're trying to keep that safe. And then it's you against the crazy people that are trying to disrupt, that safety. It's just like, it's the same thing with cops.
Well, see, I loved it, and that's why, if I wouldn't have gotten, so before I got in trouble, my goal was to be Coast Guard and do helicopter rescues, deep sea rescues, cliff rescues. That's what I wanted to do. I got in trouble and couldn't do it anymore. Military, even the Army wouldn't look at me. It's the second trans branch. Like, no, it's too heavy. We're not fucking with you. So that was my adrenaline because I was a fighter. I was always just adrenaline. I loved bouncing because I could do it legally. I wasn't cocky with it. I didn't overstep the bound. I didn't confront you in an aggressive way.
Mm.
If anything, I was the guy you come to talk you off the cliff and get you out peaceably. But I was also the guy to drag your ass out too, and I fucking loved it. And then when he got put in ICU, his dad called. It was like, hey, his dad called the club. I was working at Bucks Cabaret. His dad called and was like, hey, I want to talk to Chris. And so I got on the phone with him. He said, hey, I want to let you know that my son's in ICU and I don't blame you for it. He was on drugs. He's only been out of prison for like 2 weeks. I know my son. I know he's combative. You're okay. I was like, whew, okay. And then like 2 weeks later, I left the club. I was like, this, but I love that adrenaline. I loved it. I mean, shot at, stabbed, ran over, maced, jumped. But I loved it. And that ultimately was my biggest vice.
Man.
And then again, here come the psilocybin and just completely calmed me down, man.
Yeah.
Completely calmed me down. I won't say I never, as a kid, I'm sure I had my fair share of instigating it, for sure. But most of the time I didn't instigate it, especially as I got, my 20s and early 30s. I never instigated shit. I just never ran from it. And being a big guy, a lot of guys want to pick on the big guy.
Yeah, you are a big dude.
Man, I'd really buy you a beer, man, to beat you up or choke you out, or I'd really shake your hand.
Right.
But sometimes it ended up that way. And so, again, back to psilocybins and DMT. It put me in the woods, and I ain't looked since, man.
That's awesome.
Excuse me.
Oh, you're good.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, me growing up, I had friends they'd love to do the same thing. You'd be in the middle of a cool party, man. Everything's going right. Everybody's got a girl to talk to, you know what I mean? And they're like, I'm gonna go find somebody. And I'm like, why do you want to ruin the good time, man? Like, I was me. I was like, how do you want to ruin it?
And I'm the guy who wanted to go fight just because it was what it was. Like I fought at home. Like I would. So my stepdad. There was a really pivotal moment for me about 2 years ago. He was a really, really, really. He wasn't a bad guy at heart, but he was the definition, like I said, in a Lifetime movie special, alcoholic, abusive guy. And the first time he hit me, I was 11, and he busted my nose. The last time he hit me without me fighting back, I was 14. And at that point, I'm whooping his ass. And he told my mom that he would shoot me before he fought me again. And my mom still stayed with him. So you can imagine the dynamic there.
Yeah.
And so that's where a lot of my anger comes from. I was just such an angry person. But at the core, I was a good person. I had a soft heart. But I was raised in this super heavy physical world.
Well, and at the same time, too, at that time, your testosterone started to kick in.
Yeah.
You're becoming a man.
And that's where a lot of that's not even a lot of, that is why I'm so protective over kids now. Because even in my 20s and early 30s, I would try to do the Big Brother programs. And then when Scared Straight was a big thing, I tried to get Johnson County to incorporate a Scared Straight program into their juvenile system. But no one would take me serious because I was young and I was a felon. Like, but I'm the one who, that's who you should take it from. You know what I mean?
Right, no kidding.
Like, I'm the one who did it. Like, I was these kids. So, back to the, it goes back to the bureaucracy of the nonprofit. The government's never helped me, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Like, ever.
Well,
It's never done anything for me. Like, I'm not on any kind of assistance. When I was trying to help the kids, you told me no because of my background. So I just the hell with you, and we'll figure out another way. And so we have. And I say we as a collective because it's a community. Yes, I'm the brains of it, but it's we.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I'm not. All I'm doing is the voice of it, and I'm the one who hands them the pole along with other volunteers. But I'm not financially funding it. Some of it I am. There's if we don't make the mark, I finish it out. But I don't. Like that's where a lot of it comes from. It's just I don't do any of this shit.
Yeah, man.
I don't do any of it.
No, and it's good. It's good that you're, that you're actually collected and notice these things, and you've worked past them. And it's not. Don't let anybody tell you that that's not something that's major to overcome, because it is something.
Yeah, I don't give myself enough credit, to be honest with you. I don't, because I like I said earlier, that was another struggle coming in here and talking about myself. I don't like talking about myself.
Yeah.
Like to my family and friends, they all know and I'll talk, but to the world, this is the world.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, I mean, there's probably gonna be like 4 or 5 people besides your kids and stuff.
It may take a little bit, but it'll catch traction. I've always been very hard on myself, because to me it's like, who am I?
Yeah, I've always said that too. Like, who the hell am I?
I'm just some dude. I'm no different than you. Like, my background's no different than yours, and in some moments it is.
Yeah, I mean,
but
definitely for sure.
But I'm just another person, man. Just trying to do some cool shit and live the best way I know how. As long as the good Lord lets me roll with it, then I'm gonna roll with it.
Man, you've been rolling pretty good since I've known you.
I know. Like, and if it stops tomorrow, man, it's kind of a, like, even on my business. Even if it ended today, I'm not scared to work until 11. You know what I mean? Because for me, it's a mindset. And I've always told my boys that too. Like, poor is a mindset.
100%.
It's just a mindset. Is it harder that you're making $13 an hour? Yeah, it's going to be harder, But it's still a mindset, It's just because you're poor doesn't mean you have to be dirty. Just because you're poor doesn't mean you have to be, like, depressed. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it doesn't come hand in hand. I'm not saying it's not easy or hard. But it's just, I'm not scared to work. I'm not scared to, it's just life, man. We're going to have our ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a chapter. It's just, and I'm going to ride this wave for as long as the good Lord lets me. I'm going to ride this fucking wave, man. And when it crashes, because it will, it always does. I know it's going to. Then I'll figure it out then.
Yeah. Well, that's what they say. We have seasons.
Yeah.
You have good seasons and bad seasons, and
just the way it is. And I raise my kids the same way.
You got to go through it.
Yeah, it just is what it is, man.
I've never been the perfect stepdad by any means.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, he's probably gonna have some pretty thick skin, because me and his mom are very much of, like, hard time people. Like, we give everybody a hard time, including each other. And so he had to grow up with that. So
I think that makes the best relationship.
He's got to have some thick skin, you know.
You're gonna be able to roast each other. If you can't roast each other, then I don't. That's my love language. If I'm not picking on you and I'm not fucking with you, then I really probably don't like you too much. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just tolerating you in the moment.
And honestly, this thing on my face, it just says stuff sometimes just because I think it's funny and I don't really think about it. And it just comes out, you know. And 9 times out of 10, like, it's everybody just, it kills, you know what I mean? But then, like, that one time, it's like, somebody gets their feelings hurt, and I'm like, okay, I really didn't, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, and then you start overanalyzing it yourself, like, damn, did I really, like...
Yeah, I was please don't take that.
And really, you didn't do anything wrong, but you're a good human, so you're overanalyzing it, because you don't want to hurt their feelings. But at the same time, you didn't mean to, you know, but you're still going to apologize even though you need to do it. And I still struggle with that, because I am human, and I do have a good heart. I don't hurt anybody's feelings. You know, they say, what is the facts don't have feelings?
Yeah.
But it does, though.
Yeah, it does.
You know, it does. It still has feelings. Now, whether it's relevant or not, that's another conversation. But facts have feelings. And I don't hurt your feelings. Because honestly, what you do doesn't bother me.
100%.
Like, it doesn't bother me. So me having my fact doesn't... You having your... it just doesn't bother me. Like, you're going to live your life, I'll live mine, we'll meet in the middle. If we don't, we're cool.
Yeah, man.
You know? And that's the way my youngest son's mom, an amazing person, man. Amazing heart. And I'm using her as an example for it. You're just going to be who you're going to be, and it should be okay. You may not like what you're doing, you don't agree with what you're doing, and vice versa. She may not.
Yeah, 100%.
Vice versa. But at the end of the day, we have free will, and I acknowledge that you're human, and I acknowledge you're an individual, and I acknowledge that it's going to be okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be fine. It's going to have its roller coasters, but it's going to be fine. As long as you keep the mentality of that.
Yeah.
It's when you stay there in this deep, drowning shit that you suffer. And unfortunately, a lot of people can't get out of suffering.
You know what? And I agree with that.
Yeah.
And, I've talked to lots of people in my life, and that was kind of another reason why I wanted to start doing this too, is because people, for some reason, people are like, you have a really good advice sometimes when it comes to this kind of stuff, and I don't have to live it, I don't have to breathe it, you know what I mean, your life, but like sometimes I don't know, it's kind of crazy when you can hear that airplane. Like, it's like I've soundproofed most of this room, but still like dang. But no, the fact that I do have a very good support system that got behind me about this thing, I have lots of people that think that I didn't make this happen on my own, man. And that we need that, and that's honestly what this whole thing's about, is to get. It ain't about me, you know. It's about people like you.
You're giving not only yourself a voice, but you're giving everyone else a voice.
And people are gonna hate the shit that I say, dude. They're gonna get online. I'm gonna say something that's gonna piss somebody off, and you can't.
Who cares?
You can't make everybody happy.
You can't.
And it shouldn't keep you from being you.
And that's what a lot. Like, I got cut so much shit for the longest about me being so open about certain things, especially working for myself. You know, it's gonna hurt business. Listen, if you're not gonna hire me to come fix your pool, and I'm good at what I do because I partake in certain things or I think a different way, then you're not hurting my feelings, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you're just not. Because I am again, it's a mental thing. You're not hurting it. You know, do I want the money? I want the money. But to tell you I feel differently to get your money, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna pander to you just to get your account. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, if you can't, I'm a good human, and if you can't accept it for what it is, then that's your decision. And if you can, and you don't agree with me, and you still want the business, or you want me to do certain things, then I'm right there with you. You know what I mean? I don't agree with you either, but I'm still gonna do your shit. Like, I had a lot of stuff when I first started on it, like, you can't say this, you can't do that, or you can't post this. Why are you posting this? And you did this, and like, this is my life. Right. You know what I mean? Like, love it or hate it, this is me. You know, I don't hate you for yours.
Yeah, more people should be like that, man. We're all human beings, just out there trying to do our best.
Yeah, this is all our first time,
right?
I
know, right?
It's like, the fuck I'm doing here.
Yeah.
I promise I'm gonna show up.
Right?
You know what I mean? I'm promise I'm gonna do my best.
I'm gonna try to do the best that I possibly can.
I can promise you that, but I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here.
You know, somebody asked me, a family member was like, "Hey, are you gonna keep the podcast clean, so I can share it with family?" And I said, "Well, I'm not doing it for them, so I don't really care."
Yeah.
I don't. They don't have to listen.
Not to be rude.
I'm not being rude at all.
It's just what it is.
You know, it is what it is. Man, and it's the same people. You know, guess who Jesus hung out with?
Yeah. Bikers and hookers.
Yeah, he hung out with sinners.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, I'm not trying to compare myself to Jesus or anything like that, but I'm just like, we all have a past. We all have mistakes. We all do this. We all do that. I mean, I'm sorry. The church people and the preachers and all that stuff, they didn't live perfect lives either. And we should all give each other just a little bit more.
90% of them aren't going to do what I've done.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like, again, not even trying to be non-humble. It's just, they don't hit the streets.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, my grandma, and she's a perfect example for me. Back to my grandma. Not even, like, just for financial and living, but when it comes to belief and religion as well. Hardcore Christian, like Church of Christ, wouldn't paint her toenails because it's for Jezebels, clip-on earrings to the day she died, very old school, Old Testament Christian. And she would tell me all the time, and I can remember, even as being a really young boy, she'd tell me I'm destined for great things, right? She'd tell me that all the time. And then would get older, and when I got older, I can remember the first time she told me, I was probably 23, 24. She told me I was going to hell. And from 20, she died I think it was last October. I'm not even sure for that one. Somewhere around there. From 22 to then, and I was really heavy in my grandma's life. Like, I was grocery shopping, like I was very involved. And she'd tell me all the time, "You're such a good man, but you're going to hell. You do know that, right?" I could not agree with her on shit, but I respect the hell out of her because she, on her dying deathbed, believed what she believed. Mm-hmm. Just because I didn't believe it, I respect it, man.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
You die hard, like you lived your faith, you died your faith, and that's your faith. I don't have to agree with it.
You don't.
I respect the shit of it though. Because you believed it and you lived it, and that was her telling me that my whole life kind of guided me in certain areas too. You know, you're going to hell. You're such a good man. You're going to hell. I'm like, but am I? Like, I don't know. All I know is I'm living. Like, I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't know what's going to happen. I just know I'm here for a good time, for as long as I can be. And do some cool shit, and most importantly, good shit while I'm here. And that's out of my hands, man.
Well, I'll tell you this, man. You know, anybody that believes in, God, the devil, and all that stuff, if you believe in the devil, he'll take good people too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, I believe in God, 100%.
And the thing is like, just the Bible says a lot of things, and how you should act and how you should do this and how you should do that. But I mean, man, we weren't created to be perfect.
Yeah.
And just because you're a good person doesn't mean that you're going to go to heaven.
Yeah. And then that, for me, that's the thing, is I don't know.
Yeah.
And I don't have a clue. So it's like, you can live a quote unquote perfect life, but who says what's perfect?
Correct. That's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah.
So
who says what's perfect?
I don't know. I can be a decent person, and then where the dominoes fall, they fall.
Hey, there's been times, man, when I've told somebody some things that, guess what? It was mean.
Yeah.
And it wasn't good sounding, but that person needed to hear it because, man, a year later, they had completely turned their lives around because of something, just because I said something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was serious. I wasn't joking. It wasn't like, I'm not joking with you right now. Like, you're just, where you're going is not.
Yeah.
And I don't know what told me to say that. To be honest, when I go back and looked at it, I was like, man, they just kind of irritated me at the time about, the shit they were talking about and this and that.
I'm a believer. I'm definitely a believer. I'm not a religious person. Because from my perspective, like the Church of Christ and a lot of churches, either it's a cult in a sense, or it's a corporation nowadays, like mega churches, etc. So it's a brand or a cult, one of the two. I find God in the woods. That's why I can talk to a tree for hours versus sitting in a pew for 45 minutes being judged. And I don't have that. So when she would tell me that, I'm like, I didn't agree. All right, okay, Grandma. You know what I mean? Love you anyway. Love you anyway. I just don't have that. There's three now to date. There's three huge moments in my life where, like, God's always present in my life. There's been more than three moments, but there's three huge moments in my life. One when I was in prison, and I read the Bible from front to back, and the feeling I got and the knowledge I got from that in that moment saved me. My mom had aspirated on a piece of watermelon, and they gave her a 50-50 chance of living. My mom, again, she's big pharma's guinea pig, man. She's on every medication, 60 pills a day. Like, organs just suck, right? So they gave her a 50-50 chance of living, and I prayed next to her and read the Bible. And her kidneys failed. She had staph down her throat from where they had put the feeding tube in. And within 24 hours, everything was cleared. They come out of it. Because I sat next to her bedside for 24 hours straight, read the Bible and prayed. In 24 hours, everything was gone. Kidneys full function, staph completely healed, everything. And then, as corny as it sounds, when I met Dariana, my girlfriend now, because God put her in that spot. Like, there's no way we got two people from the same small town from Cleveland, Texas, show up to do the exact same thing at the exact same time. And when she jumped out of her truck, she's a tiny girl, with a German Shepherd by herself, and everybody told her not to go by herself, but she has the same type of vibe I do, the same heart I do. And she jumped out of her truck, and she ended up on my team for that search and rescue, or search and recovery team. Gained all my respect. Like, hey, I know you. And it went from there. So those are three huge moments that there's no doubt in my mind. It's the religious part of it for me. It's the damage that they have done. The corporations, the religion, all that stuff. Yeah, they've damaged it so much, man. They went so off course for me. It's unreal. Because again, it's super simple. You complicate this shit with what you think is right. It doesn't matter what you think is right.
It doesn't.
It does. What you think is right is irrelevant.
Again, like I said, we all live our life through our lens, and we don't know what's right and what's wrong. But the thing is, we're not supposed to judge
At all. It goes back to my free will. Like, I'm not judging you for shit.
Yeah.
And people who quite aren't there mentally take it as personal judgment. I'm really not judging you. I'm just telling you the facts of the matter that I don't agree with you. Just because I don't agree with you doesn't mean I'm judging you.
100%.
I just simply I don't agree with you.
Correct.
And that's leave it at that.
That's okay.
You know what I mean? And that should be okay. But people who haven't quite mostly matured in certain ways take that as a personal attack and take it defensively. I'm not meaning to be defensive. I'm not meaning any kind of malice at all. It's just what it is.
Right.
And but again, we're individuals and everybody has their own journeys.
100%.
So you can't take it personal. If they take it personal, all you can do is step back and let them run their course, and they'll find it some way, and you'll keep living your life.
100%. So, I mean, dude, okay, one of me and my wife, we love going to concerts. like love listening to live music and stuff like that. But also, like, the biggest part of that too is people watching. We love people watching.
Love people, yeah.
But it's not like, oh, we would have a good laugh sometimes when we see something. But it's not like we're judging those people. Because 99% of the time, we're going to get up and go talk to those people, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm the same way.
I mean,
like, I want to be your fucking friend.
Right?
Yeah.
That's, to me, it's hilarious. You know, whatever you were doing over there,
Yeah.
is, you know, just being yourself and being goofy or whatever it is. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
I've been known a million times to just walk up, like, people are dancing, and they're like, oh, it looks fucking fun, I'll go join you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, apparently we're really approachable. Like, lots of people come up and just start talking.
That's funny, because I get the same thing, too.
And
I don't see it myself, right? I don't
No,
see it myself, but I do get it a lot. People just talk to me.
I don't know, but I love it, dude.
Yeah.
I love talking to people.
I do.
I learned so much. I was like, man, like that guy gave me a good laugh just at the 5 words that he said to me, and like, you know, walked off.
And then you also get that sense of feeling of like you feel kind of good about yourself a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I'm safe to be around.
Yeah.
And that's a huge thing for me. Because I wasn't safe. You know, I didn't grow up being safe. So if you're safe enough to talk to me or come to me or even joke with me, I'll take that as a great thing. As a great thing.
100%.
I didn't have that.
Because that
was.
I joke about myself a lot. So
Yeah.
I make fun of myself a lot.
All the time.
So, you know, if I'm making fun of you or something like that, there's no reason to take it personal at all.
So I don't roast you, man. I probably don't like you too much. You know, I'm gonna roast the shit out of you if I can.
And I love it, man, when people, just random people at concerts just come up and start talking to me in my life. And just, I mean, and we have met some characters, bro. And
yeah, especially standing in the ticket line. You're just talking to people in the ticket line and just having these most random conversations in the ticket line. And then you end up partying with them inside the concert.
100%.
Because you met them in the ticket line. Yeah.
Been there.
Yeah. I love it, man. I fucking love it.
It's great.
And then that's a lot of reasons why I like what I do for work is because, not for number one, it's the freedom. But I also get to talk to, like, everyone. You know, one pool may be a trailer park home pool, and the next pool is a $2 million pool, and it's just you get to talk to everyone.
I know.
You know, everyone. And I think it's cool. It's cool. You get to see it. You get to experience it.
You know, one of the things that I do with my job is I get to teach classes. And I hate teaching them virtually. That sucks because you can't see anybody or whatever. You know, you're just kind of like doing your thing. But when you're in person, like you get, and then you know the people that don't want to ask questions in class, they'll come up and during a break and you know ask questions or talk or this or that. And I'm like, well, that was a good question. So I immediately they came up to me because they didn't want to ask it in class, and I'll be like, well, this person came up right over here sitting. I asked this question, but it was a really good question, so I'm going to share it with everybody. And they're over there like, oh my god. Yeah. But like, I mean, I'm that guy. You know, it's like, you know, it's.
I am too. That's funny. That's real funny. Yeah, I just, it's funny you say that because I'm the same way, for sure.
Yeah, and I was trying to figure out still how to figure this part out, like where I can get these off of my feet. I don't know. This is the first one, so
yeah, man, you're gonna get a lot of learning curves this time.
Yeah, I mean, like
audio to wires to conversations.
And man, I'm gonna.
And I'm thank you for letting me brush your cherry on it, man.
Oh, 100%, dude. Honestly, you know, it was one of those things that I was telling my wife about. I was like, I gotta get this thing together. You know, before you were doing the, because I mean, I feel real strong about. I remember the first time I saw you doing the fishing pools for kids thing, dude. Man, it really touched my heart. Like I was like, what he's doing right now, that's cool. He's getting kids out there fishing and in nature, and I was like, that's the world needs more.
Well,
of
it's
that.
also it's for me. It's that was the number one goal was the kids. The longer I did, especially when I went from giving them to the kids, and like I said earlier, just ended up in a closet, never got touched situation, and I started handling it that day at the park, next to the creek. That was the kids were the number one motivation. But the longer it went, man, the more I enjoyed the community coming together and talking.
Yeah.
Because you got 200 plus people staying in line. That's conversation.
100%.
You know, you've got 200. You know. Not everybody stays around the fish, but you got a solid 100 plus that stays on that creek bed. When's when is the park ever that full?
Never.
Never. Ever. You know what I mean? So you got all these people just, that's why I love fishing. Like, when it comes to like sand bass season, they run, and then what we do with the Fishing Pools for Kids, all walks of life show up. Lawyers, doctors, heroin addicts, grandmas, grandpas, uncles, aunts, brother, like everyone shows up, everyone's there, and everyone's equal. And they're all talking about the same thing. What'd you catch?
Yeah.
How do you got your stringer?
That's so awesome.
You know what I mean? Like, there's that's all that matters.
Yeah.
You know, nothing else fucking matters. And that's, so, yeah, the kids started it, but it become way more than that. For me, it really did become about the community. It become about just talking.
And that's fantastic, man, because honestly, we need to do more of that.
Yeah.
And again, that's one of the reasons why I'm starting this thing is, you know, like it ain't about me, it's about getting people like you out there, you know. So it's not just a Facebook post. It's not, you are a real person that's working your ass off to do this. It's not easy. You
I
know?
will stand on the corner at the courthouse as long as I need to. This, so we do. My youngest, we'll stand on the corner, we got our signs, we'll stand out there, go to our Fishing Pools for Kids page, and you know, it's all, you know, it only takes 30 minutes. You know, it's as big as it is, it's pretty small.
Yeah.
You know, it don't take much, really. You know, like, for what we do for Fishing Pools for Kids, as big as it is, and as big as impact as it has made, it's really small. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't take a lot of my time. It just doesn't, because the community steps in. Because I don't have to do anything. All I gotta do is put it out there, and the community does the rest. Shares, you know, GoFundMe pages, personal Zelles and Venmos and cash in the corner. Like, it doesn't take time. All it does is a share and a conversation. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And to me, it's just the community. And I live at my house. I try to live my block that way too. Like, my garden is a community garden. Everybody talks to each other. Everybody feeds each other. I think that's the way life should be.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, most people nowadays, they don't even know their neighbors.
Yeah,
talk to them.
I'm the same way, man. I know my direct neighbors.
Like, you're going to know me. I'm kind of hard to miss.
Yeah.
And if you don't see me on the street, I used to get made fun of. You only go check the mail just so you can talk to the neighbors. So what?
Yeah, who cares?
Who cares?
I go jogging sometimes just so I can wave at people.
Like,
I'm like,
I want to be the dad on the block you're going to see. I promise you. I want to be the dad on the block you're going to see. And I hope you're the same. You know? And you feed me, I feed you. I watch yours, you watch mine. And we'll call, you know, great. To me, that's what it's about.
100%.
As soon as you stop that, that's when shit goes downhill.
100%.
That's when shit goes downhill. And I don't like that.
I
don't
agree.
like that at all. I'd much rather be your friend than your enemy. And of course, you don't know what your neighbor does. You know, unfortunately, we had a neighbor. Where I live now. The neighbors directly across the street from me. When I first moved in, they were an older couple. He was in his 56, she was in her 80s, and they've been married for 4 or 5 years. And they're at my house all the time. I always have gatherings and cookouts. Just it's one of those things, you know. And we're very neighborly. I helped them move in, move their furniture. They always come to my house and bring a dish. Like, it was a good neighborly thing. And then I wake up one morning, and there's my whole block's taped off, the crime tape, and they got the house taped off, and the coroner's office is there. I'm like, what the fuck? This guy, again, they've both been in my house numerous times, and vice versa. Don't know your neighbors though. You think you do.
Yeah.
And he had shot her like 3 times, and she rolled off the bed. He didn't kill her, so he finished her off the back of the head, and then put the gun on himself, and shot himself in the face. And I think he lived like a week or 2 until the devil's like, no, you're going to burn hell with me now. With her, she probably took it.
Jesus.
You know, in fact, so he got to be tortured on Earth for a couple of weeks before he got tortured in hell. And
yeah, that's wild.
You just gotta know your neighbors. You know, even if you don't know them, least take the chance to try to know them. You know what I mean? At least let your parents know. You know.
Yeah.
And when that happened, it was sad for multiple reasons. Sad, but her sister would ask me, excuse me, did he ever give you any sense of control? Or because apparently behind closed doors, he's obviously bad to her. And I was like, he would never. He didn't. Because he knows that he's a dude that's an abusive guy. He's not going to do that in front of other males, especially alpha males like me and my friends.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to bring this shit to my house, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
that was brutal, dude.
Cowards.
Yeah, that's fucking brutal. They wake up the next day like, damn, when the fuck that happened? But you just never know, man.
That's true. I mean, you do never know. But don't,
But that doesn't.
Don't beat yourself up about that.
No, I'm definitely not. I'm definitely not, because I didn't do it.
People can wear those masks. And you may tell you why I want to do this thing for 3 hours.
What's that?
Because, man, it's really hard to bullshit.
Yeah.
Somebody for 3
hours.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You gotta have a real good. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've gone. How many times have I didn't have any questions for you. Nothing. We were just talking. It's really hard to bullshit it through that long. Yeah. 2-3 hours. It's difficult, and that's why I wanted to do it this long, so people could actually get a feel of the people that I'm talking to.
Yeah.
And who they really are, and their life that they lived, and their sorrows, and their ups and their downs, their peaks and their valleys, and just all of it.
Yeah.
And so, and honestly, dude, you do have a good heart, and
I appreciate
the things that you do, it's inspired me. I'm not gonna lie, dude.
I do appreciate that.
It's inspired me. Me and my wife.
It was never the goal, but either way, I do appreciate.
But me and my wife have talked about starting gardens and stuff, but for the same thing, of just, hey, whatever we don't have left, we're just kind of like, does anybody else need this?
Yeah, I can only eat so many fucking tomatoes.
Right? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'll try. I'd love to. But my wife hates them, so it's like I can only have so many, But for real, talking to your neighbors is a good thing. I jog around. I talk to my neighbors and wave and stuff. There's a couple that will actually sit there and talk to me and stuff, but...
Yeah, I'm still the guy who's going to bring a casserole to your front door when you move in.
Yeah, and I should be more that way because I've also seen people move in, but we've got some rent houses, and then you try to talk to these people and they just don't. They don't.
Because again, everybody's like us. They want to keep to themselves and don't want to talk. And again, to each your own.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, whether you want to talk to me or not, I promise you're going to know I'm there.
Yeah.
My presence will be known. And a lot of that comes because of the kids. Because you've probably already seen it's really popular. You ever seen that interview where they interview a child predator?
Oh yeah.
And he says the number one I go for are kids without dads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
That's fucking lying. You're going to know I'm there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We may not talk every day, and we not be on the same page, but you're going to fucking know I'm there.
Right.
You know what I mean? My presence will be known. Not even just for my side, 285 pounds. But you're going to know I'm there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and that's where a lot of it comes from, too. Not even just the hospitality and the heart of being your neighbor. It comes with the instinct of being a dad, too. You know what I mean? Being an alpha male in that sense of like, all right, man, like we can be super cool or we can't. I would rather be super cool, but if it don't go that way, then we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Right, I'm the same way.
Yeah, my presence will be known. And any neighborhood I've ever lived in, that's just my personality. And I never come off aggressive by any means. I'm not an aggressive person.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be aggressive.
Yeah.
People think it's because we're.
I'm a fucking teddy bear. 285 pounds, covered in tattoos. I'm a super nice guy, but my appearance, they look at me like, oh shit. Just have a conversation with me. You'll see otherwise.
Yeah, the same way. People think that I'm some kind of hardcore, whatever. I do like firearms. They fascinate me. They always have. I love mechanical stuff. And firearms are easier to work on than motors, to be honest. So
that's something I never got into, man. And Dariana, my girl now, she's kind of a militia type chick. Yeah, let's just say that. And having my background, I never messed with guns because I was always too scared to have them. So that's one thing I never got used to. then I'm starting as I'm older. Come at me now, government. Like I don't ever carry on my person, but I'm a 40-year-old man with a family and kids. So you bet your asses in the car. You know what I mean?
Gotta
Felon or
protect
not,
yourself.
you know what I mean? Come at goddamn, I admit it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if I'm going across state lines, or we're going anywhere, and I got my family. Me by myself, I don't have it. Right? I'm okay. But I got my kids, especially my kids and me, and I'm going on a distance. You bet your ass I got it somewhere.
Right.
And I didn't start doing that until probably the last 4 or 5 years because I was always so scared of going back to prison, throwing fire, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not giving you a reason to search me. I'm not doing nothing bad. So if you pull me over for a traffic violation, you're not going to want to search my car. I'm not smoking weed. I'm not doing nothing. You either pull me over because I use my blinker or speed or whatever. There's no probable cause to search my car. And if you do, I'll take the charge for it. I did what I did. I shouldn't have had it. I take full responsibility. But I had it because I got my boys in the backseat. Like, I will take the risk of getting in trouble and need it and not have it, or whatever that phrase is. Yeah. Have
it, not need it.
Yeah,
need it, not have it.
You know what I mean? And then take the possibility of getting in trouble for it.
Yeah, because, if you call the cops, they're only 20 minutes away?
Yeah, so, it's not your
like a habit in 20
mine.
minutes. Yeah, right. It is your responsibility.
It's my responsibility.
And you'll have to answer for those consequences of whatever happens. And I'll do the same thing.
In a fucking heartbeat. You put me in front of a jury, a judge, why'd you do it? Well, because my kids were here. That's why I did it. You want to send me to prison for it, then by all means. I hope you don't. I wish you don't. But I don't regret it. I don't regret it for a fucking second.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
So, and it took me a long time to, I never carry on person because I do know my boundary on it. You pat me down, I'm walking through Walmart, and go, well, then that was kind of stupid of me. But yeah.
Maybe we can talk to somebody, get you expunged to where maybe
go on New Year's.
We'll be so be bad for you.
So I can have it in my house. I just can't have it in my person. I can't have it in my name.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, there's the home, whatever that.
Yeah, because after I think, of course I'm not a lawyer, so anybody listening to this, whatever else, I think it's after so many years of you being off of probation
the crazy thing with mine is when I got on probation, they gave me my release papers. Again, I'm 40 now, and I got off at 29. And they gave me my release papers and it said eligible for appeal because I was on deferred adjudication, which was the dumbest shit ever. I was on deferred adjudication, and they gave me my release papers and it said eligible for appeal, first year anniversary, third year anniversary, fifth year anniversary charge, or never, right? And on my paperwork, it was circled never with a question mark next to it, a big ass question mark next to it. So I took it to a judge when I was, just fresh on probation, 29 and 30. I said, "What does this mean? I did my probation. The whole point of deferred is you do your probation successfully, you can get it appealed and off your record, right? That's the whole point. That's why they sell you deferred." Well, they were like, "Well, it's going to it cost me $3,000 for them to even look into it." But at this point, I've already done I don't give a shit. The only rights I ever cared to have back were my gun rights. That's the only rights I ever cared to have back. Because at this point, I was already 30. I was already grown. I didn't give two shits about being told no about a career, or I didn't care about other things. Or even voting. It was the gun rights I wanted back. But again, at that point, it was I already established life, and I'm like, I don't want to spend $5,000 on something I may not get back. So I just kind of roll with the punches with it.
I have to admit though, when you have a family and stuff like that, it changes everything.
Everything.
It changes everything.
Everything. It
changes your mindset because I don't ever want to hurt anybody.
Ever.
I've trained in martial arts and stuff like that too. By the way, I'm if somebody tries to come and fight me, I'm probably going to get my ass whipped because I'm not anything in martial arts. But it's because of the worries of I just want to be able. I don't even give a shit about myself at that point. You know what I mean? But if I can do something to where my family can get away, I'll do anything.
10 fucking seconds makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I will do anything.
Yeah.
And like I said, a police officer is only You know,
and they're just human.
When they're minutes away when seconds count.
They're humans with a title.
Correct.
That's the only difference between us and them is that they're humans with a title.
And
we're both humans.
And dealing with somebody that had, threatened your life multiple times, over and over and over again, and you go to the police. You know what the police do?
Well, they got to do something first.
100%.
Yeah.
Can you defend yourself? Yeah. Then just do that, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, they can't do anything until something's happened.
And then when you defend yourself, you get in trouble for it.
Sometimes.
It's the catch-22. But again, it goes back to like we're all just human. When people what there was a moment in life, the older I got as a man, when you start realizing that people are just men, and they're just human with a title, the whole game changes.
It does.
The whole game changes. I'm going to treat the janitor like I do the CEO because they're men. The only difference is the title. And who gave you that title? What makes you better than I? Nothing. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, if the apocalypse comes, your title don't make a fuck.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. It don't make a fuck when the apocalypse comes.
Yeah.
You know? The Civil War, your title don't mean shit. That's all that separates me and you. And unfortunately, that's what gets you in trouble. Because you don't have the title, so all of a sudden you're not qualified to do it. Fuck your qualification. My qualification is I'm a man with a family. That's my qualification.
100%.
You know, and that's God-given right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not the other shit that they got.
And agreed. You know, where we live is good to me for that, because I think if you're sitting there and you're like, hey man, this dude came into my house and they threatened, they're gonna be like, okay. They're not even gonna take your weapon. They're just gonna be like, all right.
And that's why I'm okay with, like, it sucks not being able to have a firearm, but you come to my door, you ain't gotta be rich to me, but I got it. I hope you don't. But if you do, well then it is what it is.
I just think it's a shame too that people that go through your situation and stuff, being a young adult and do something just something stupid, and then you're held accountable for your entire life.
By the way, I will say this, I've said it and I'll always say it, I deserve to get in trouble. 1,000%. I did what I did. I take full accountability for what I did. I'm so sorry it happened. I'm so sorry that it destroyed the lives it did, because it did ultimately change a lot of lives. Not just my own, but everybody else that's involved. But it happened. I was 18, and it's
God.
And now if I didn't change my life, and I stayed on that same trajectory, then I would have a little bit more guilt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I do have guilt for it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to dwell in it. I'm not like I didn't stay the statistic, and unfortunately other people did, and it just was what it was, man. It made me a better person, honestly.
Yeah.
It did. It's just shitty as it was. It made me a better person, so I can't. I take it back. I would take it back only because the victim itself. I mean, they didn't deserve what happened when they got hurt, not the way they got hurt. But as far as the lessons it taught me, I can't really take that back, because it molded me. And I think I'm a pretty cool human.
I do.
So, you know what I mean? So if that didn't happen, then I wouldn't be me at 40 now. I kind of like myself.
Yeah, I mean, I do too, brother. And I think you're doing great things, and I think you should continue doing great things. And maybe I can talk to a few people that may be able to reach out to you and help you out with that whole expungement thing.
That'd be cool, man. That'd be super fucking cool.
Just because of the fact that after so long of you're being a good person and stuff like that. Ain't nobody's perfect, but like you're being a good person, and everybody should be able to defend themselves.
It's really cool. My oldest, he has, and I want to actually go to the newspaper this week to get the rest of the archives, but he has my mugshot from when I was 18, and then I've been in the newspaper 3 times since for the charity work. So I did a Buffalo Creek cleanup project for a couple of years. And I would just clean the litter out of the Buffalo Creek from A+ flooring, Justin Scott's A+ flooring, all the way to the bank, and then down some more. I would clean all that creek of litter. And I did that for a couple of years, and they put me on the front page of the newspaper for that. But then I was the only one doing it. It was an uphill battle. like, I can't, this is tiring. The city wouldn't get involved. It was just me and a couple of volunteers there. Everyone's going to come help my boy. But he has my mugshot, and then he has my newspaper clippings of the other cool things I've done. And that means everything.
That's so awesome.
So I'm going to go to speak to the Cleaver paper and get all of it, because I don't have them all in hand anymore. I want to get them all. So you got the mugshots, the Buffalo Creek cleanup, and 7 years of fishing poles for kids, and it's pretty fucking cool, man.
That is, dude, that's real fucking cool. To be honest,
it's pretty fucking cool to my sons, my boys are seeing this shit.
Yeah,
and that's the ultimate goal.
I love that.
Because I didn't know how else to break cycles. How are you gonna break cycles if you're not gonna show your kids better?
And you got to be honest. You got to be open, and you're a very authentic guy. And I appreciate you coming on here, man. Being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And opening yourself off. I know. I mean, but you did it, and I told you we weren't going to talk about anything you didn't want to talk about, but I'm kind of glad you brought it up, because there were some things that even surprised me. I was like, oh shit, and it's just because you did something, once upon a time. It doesn't control your whole life, and I love the fact that you just made that not control your whole life. And
it just goes back to mentality and choices, man. It just, you either stay or you don't. And unfortunately, not everybody has not everybody has that strong will. Unfortunately, most people who did pain pills for 13 years aren't going to quit on their own. I never went to AA. I think I went to like 2 AA meetings in 13 years. I didn't go to rehabs, and I was taking, 100 milligrams a day for 13 years, and not everybody can just quit that cold thing.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, and for over 2 years, I haven't, and I don't give myself enough credit for it.
And you should.
And because it's the humble thing, you know what I mean? It's that I'm no different than you, and I not everybody can really do that, and I'm very blessed, man. I'm very blessed. There's been a lot of prayers. There's been a lot of support. I say there's been a lot of support on the addiction part of it, because no one knew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But support on other things.
But the other things you were doing, you had support, which
100%,
led to that support. It was I can't think of the word at the moment, but it's one of those things that was support, but not directly for that thing. But the other things that you were doing, because you've already made up your mind to not be a bad person.
Yeah.
And just because the people should hear that too, just because you have something like that, it doesn't mean you're a bad person.
Yeah.
Just find the help that you need to get over it. Talk to whoever you need. Reach out to you.
Yeah,
reach out to you, man. That could be your next little adventure.
There was and I did this for a little bit too. So I started when I was like 34, 33, it's like 35. I called it feature soul canoe trips, and I was taking people out for basically it was just 2 or 3 day canoe trips. Sometimes I did it for like a week, and it was we ate what we caught on the river, and we primitive camped on the riverbanks or the riverbed, and I was taking vets with PTSD, and some of these guys were like calling me saying, "Hey, if I don't know now, then this is it." So I'm like, okay, well, you just pack your bag. I'm on my way to come get you. And we would go through for 3 or 4 days on the river, and kind of just release it, And there's a lot of life change with that. And that even though I was still on pain pills, I was still doing these things. That was another adventure I did for a little bit. Was to get them out in the woods and to help them clear their mind. And so if you're going to, because for me, if you're going to, I really run from my demons in the woods than running my demons on my couch.
Yeah, no shit.
Because when you're on your couch running from your demons, you're kind of stuck in the cycle of it. Well, at least if you're running from your demons in the woods, you got the birds chirping, the crickets going, and the frogs croaking, and God's talking to you. When you're still on the couch, it's you against you. When you're out in the woods, again, that's where I find church. So you're out there with God, and He's talking to you.
I promise you. So me sitting on my back porch, I need some help, and I'm talking to God and listening to everything. The bullfrogs and, and the birds and all that. That's better than listening to that box on your fucking wall.
Absolutely,
100%.
So when I have guys call me and like, hey, this is where I'm at right now, I'm like, well, I'm on my way, and I did that for a few years until it just, I just said stop doing that. But other things happen. But I'm whatever I can do to help me to help you change or talk or just be here, and I'm all for it. Because I'm not perfect, but I've had my fair share of shit.
Yeah.
And I would like to think I've come out pretty fucking good from it. So if I can teach you anything, or even if I'm just an ear, then cool.
Like I said, you've inspired me, man, and I haven't had the greatest life in the world either, but it's nothing compared.
Well, you're doing this, man. This right here, like I said, just the voice alone, and I love that you're doing it there. Like you said earlier, you're giving us no choice but to talk about it. Because if we've been doing this for an hour, I wouldn't have said half the shit I've already said.
Yeah.
And that's why you do it for the time you do it. So I commend you for that. Thank you for that, because I wouldn't have said it otherwise. I just wouldn't have said it. Without saying I'd carried it. And now it's carried no more.
Yeah, it's gone, man. I love that.
The other world fucking knows. So it's carried no more.
Brother.
Because not everybody knew a lot of that shit. So.
Well, thank you very much for that, and thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I had a great time. I'm definitely going to have you on again.
Yeah. Man.
Like I said, I'm just getting started. So, if you know anybody that's got a good story and doing good out there, because this is what I want to do. I just want to get people like you that are doing good for the community and getting the community together and talking and being a community again instead of bitching at each other on Facebook constantly.
Yeah.
You know
who? And I'll give a shout for this too, man. There's a couple. More specifically, have you heard of Re-Inspire?
Mm.
So, Cassie Moore, JD Moore.
So those names sound familiar.
Okay, so Cassie's JD's little sister, but I combine them because you kind of know my brother and sister. If you know one, you probably know the other. But Cassie, so Re-Inspire is they deal with, and they're out of Cleveland. They help teenage girls get out of bad situations, and a lot of times they have kids, so they have a whole duplex complex off England Street that she is basically the house mom, but it's just her. Like, she's the CEO. She's not the founder, but she kind of took over it all. And they get funding from different people to house these girls in this duplex complex, and she kind of watches over them. It's long story short, it's kind of the basis of what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a great fucking thing. It's called Re-Inspire. Cassie Moore. She does a lot of good work, man. A lot of good work with these girls. The girls that have nowhere to go, with newborn babies. And that's right here in our community.
Man,
she does that, man.
Definitely send me their information.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to them for sure and see if they want to come on.
Yeah, she'll talk your ear off. You ain't got no fucking.
And that's great, man. The less work that I got is going to be awesome.
You ain't got to worry about 3 hours of talking. She'll talk to you for all day long. But good person, man, and doing great fucking work here. And it's right. Yeah, it's called. They're I can't remember the church. So the big church next to World's Gym and CC's are off.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Where they have the pumpkin patch every year.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the church.
But they had their office for Re-Inspires in the back of that church. They kind of work at the back of the church, but they do other things besides house. They have like after school programs. They have like pool halls. Like they do a lot of things, man. And she can tell you way more than I can. But the premises of it is just the helping.
Yeah.
Like getting especially these girls off the streets. These girls with babies and car seats and diapers and wipes, and like it's a big deal. And they do a lot of good work. A lot of good work. So I'll pass along some information to both of you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
She likes to come talk to you because she can tell you way more than I can.
Yeah, I'd appreciate it because like the more that I can get, you know, the message out, man.
Yeah.
And it's not my message. It's the community's message.
Community.
I want to get y'all's message out. You know, I mean, I'm just the conduit.
Yeah.
You know, that's stupid enough to actually sit up here and take the shit, I guess, because I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of it. But
oh man, the hell, so I will too, but especially after this one. I'm sure I have a family over. You should have said that.
Well, you'll be back on again, man.
You ever? There's another thing. So there's like I forget how to word it here. Like when we were kids, like there was like the family was real tight in a lot of ways. Oh, don't worry about Uncle Steven. He's just Uncle Steven.
Yeah.
Type of situation. But as long as we ever kept the family together, they just kind of ignored certain things. That's just changing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like our generation's starting to come wise of like, fuck Uncle Steve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he just don't have him come, call it a day. You know? So I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what's going to change the world. That's what's going to change a lot of cycles. Is the family's close, but at what detriment?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
Are you gonna? Is holding this secret really worth keeping the family close? Not to me, it's not. And I think that's just changing, and I love it. And it's not necessarily trying to blast it. It's just bringing awareness to it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's super, super, super important. Super important.
No, I agree with you on that.
It's super important because I love my family. I built my family. Like I have my blood family, my immediate family, but I've kind of built my crew. Like my oldest son, his mom, her name is Julie, and her husband Eric. I was the best man at their wedding. I'm best friend. We have a son together, but we're best friends, man. Like there's nothing in this fucking world that we wouldn't do for each other. And the people I count the closest to me are not blood at all, because I was the one who broke the cycles. I was the one who wasn't going to stay silent. I was the one who said, fuck Uncle Steve, you know? And I think it's starting to go that way. I'm super happy about it. Yeah. Guys, I'm just finally calling people on their shit.
Yeah, I mean.
And so who gives a shit? Like, if they get mad at me, I don't care. If you get mad at me, that's your problem, bro, because I didn't do nothing bad. All I did was call you on your shit. So if you take it personal, that's your gig.
You know, man, I've kind of come to peace with the same thing with me, you know, with anybody and caring too much about what people think and this and that. And, you know, I've had a good heart ever since since I was a little kid, you know, never really wanted to hurt anybody's feelings. Of course, I've said some things sometimes just because I thought it was funny to hurt people's feelings. Of course, then I apologize.
Like humor's humor, man. Humor's humor.
Then every time I see you for the next 5 times, I'm going to be apologizing. Hey, I'm sorry about that one time. And they already forgot about it, but I haven't, you know. And, I just got to push past all that and put myself out there, too. And I'm going to say something that's probably stupid and this and that with doing all this. But honestly, this is what I love. I love just sitting down and talking to people and listening to people and hearing about their lives. Because it inspires me, man. And the good things that you do, it makes me want to do good things.
Yeah, you learn from other people's mistakes.
And so when I wanted to do this, it was like, man, okay, so now if I can sit here and talk to somebody for 3 hours, maybe to get me more involved too, get me off my ass and and do this, but also just get that word out.
Yeah, because you're going to find out things you didn't know about.
100%.
And when you finally know about it, then you can do some of that. If you don't know something, you can't do none of that. So back to Cassie, that's the one person off the top of my head that I want to talk to about coming in here, because she needs a lot of funding, because it's all funded.
Yeah.
It's all without funding, she can't help. All she is just, she's the voice, she's the face, and she's the house mom. But she don't have the money for it. She can't financially fund it. She's just there for everything else. So that is definitely one person I'll talk to about it.
Yeah, definitely, 100%, man. Give me some information. I'll have it on.
Inspire with Cassie. Yeah, do a lot of good work, bro.
Well, I plan on doing one of these a week. So that's where I'm going to start. maybe to grow into something more. But I want to try to do
stop, man. You know what I mean? Even I ain't gonna tell you, bro. Even in moments you're like, "Fuck, this sucks," ain't going nowhere. That's the moment you gotta keep going.
100%. I mean,
see, you already know that. I'm just telling you what you already know. But
I'm gonna fucking talk anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So
my wife's probably like, "Thank God he's doing it somewhere else."
Yeah, man, you're getting other people to talk to, and that's amazing because we need more of it. Without dialogue and conversation, then we're fucking stagnant. You can't grow, move, or do anything about it.
Agreed.
You gotta have a conversation. Things get so misconstrued over text and emails that you can't read a tone.
Right.
Text. You know.
I hate that.
Yes, you can.
Emojis, I guess, help a little bit, but honestly,
yeah, just because I didn't write LOL doesn't mean I'm not playing.
100%.
Like,
yeah,
I gotta write LOL just to know it's a joke.
Yeah, no, I don't think we've said that one time here. Lol.
Yeah,
after we said something.
Yeah, I mean, I do appreciate you giving a voice, especially obviously for Fish Bowls for Kids, man. I know that was the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
But it just kind of led into other things as it does in 3 hours talking. But
Well,
I'm not gonna stop that.
I'm
for sure.
super proud of you, man.
So, thank you, man.
And so don't let anybody else say anything else.
This year was hard. I won't lie to you. I kind of took the win. I used to. So before I would give the polls out, for like 5 years I had either crawfish boil or fish fry
Yeah.
party, and then I would, it was one of those things. You show up, bring a pole, you eat all you want. But last year I had a fish fry. And it didn't turn out the way I needed it to. Some personal things happened, and it just kind of took the wind out of my sails a little bit. So I'm not doing the cookouts anymore. But I will never stop the fish and pull part. And a lot of it was I would spend a lot of money on doing these cookouts that could have been allocated to poles anyway.
Yeah.
Especially when I was doing crawfish. I mean, one year I did 300 pounds of crawfish.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like, that could have been to poles. So then I switched to fish fries because I fished so much that it kind of fit the thing anyway. Fish fry, fish bowl, fish
Yeah,
balls.
100%.
But the crawfish, it was the niche. Everybody wants to do a crawfish boil. So that's kind of what started that. But last year, the fish fry, some personal things happened, kind of took the wind out of the sails. So now I'm just focused on the donation part and the handout part, which is worked out. It's been hard this year with the price of polls going up, but with the community, it's all the community. I will never not say anything different. Because without them, it wouldn't be fucking possible, man. And they have really stepped up. And, I mean, my goal was 300 polls this year, just to be safe, because we give out anywhere from 250 to 280 polls a year. But the 200 mark is where I can kind of rest. You know what I mean? Like, okay, we got 200 polls, I can kind of not be so stressed about it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're at 220 in my house right now. And that's not including the 7 donation boxes I have out, plus the GoFundMe money that I still haven't spent. So we hit the goal. So I've kind of relaxed a little bit. Okay, we got 2 weeks till we give out. We're at a decent goal, so we're good.
Yeah, I was a little worried when I saw you were like, we only had like so many polls. I was like, oh man.
But hey, I'm telling you, Project 66 and Shotty they come in clutch again this year because he handed me $1,000 check and said, here.
Wow.
That's 2 years in a row he's giving me $1,000 check. Last year bought more because of the price of polls, but without that $1,000 check, man, like that kind of put me the comfortable kind of, okay, I can kind of sit back.
That's super
and
awesome.
Let the community do the rest, right?
Shout out to Chippy.
Yeah,
man.
for sure, man, for sure. Yeah, he's done great with this. I do appreciate it. And then and the whole Shine Together group, because it's a fellowship, and they have their fellowships every Tuesday, and Jeff Peacock, one of his places, and they have their dinners, and the night I was supposed to get the check, my son had a soccer practice. I couldn't make the dinner to get the check, but they ended up giving it to me anyway. And it's kind of went there. So
I'd love to have them on too, man, because they're doing good things.
Yeah, yeah, man. Project 66 is fucking amazing. Yeah, feeding these kids like they are.
That's so awesome.
Amazing. And that's another person. I mean, maybe not Jeff Peacock, you may be busy for you, but maybe someone is involved more in the Project 66.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get them on too, to kind of get the word out for them. Because it's kids, man. It's all the kids. It's all the kids. Cassie's with the kids. Project 66 with the kids. I'm the kids. And that's what matters the most to me is these fucking kids.
Well, they're our replacements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And without us, they can't break the cycles.
100% correct.
And if we keep showing the same things that we were shown that's already broke, then the world will never change. And we need to change.
Yeah, we do.
We need to change.
We do need to change. That is damn for sure because it's not looking good.
It's not at all. But that's another reason why I stay in the woods.
Yeah, man.
I can't do shit about it because what I do is stay in the woods, man. I try not to get into politics. I try to get into shit because I can't. I don't know, man. I know what they're telling me. But I don't.
Yeah, that's probably bullshit.
Yeah, so I just stay in the woods and fish and think my thoughts, and that's about it. Like, thinking my stuff, I don't fucking have a clue about it. But yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, no problem.
Yeah,
We'll wrap this up, brother. And again, thank you so much.
For sure.
I'll definitely have you on again after the 18th. April 18th, by the way. Hewlin Park. What time?
Noon. Yeah.
April 18th.
We have 200 plus fishing poles to give out for free. Again, and we teach you. So we either teach you how to tie the hook, or we have a whole separate section where if you're in a tire stuff, you just it's a free for all. So if you need help to do it or want to learn to do it, we teach you on site, or you can just go there and do it yourself. And then we give you a little sandwich baggie full of corn versus worms.
Yeah.
So it's cheaper. You get more of a corn bag.
Yeah, no, that is no kidding.
Yeah. So
I plan on being there to help you out, man. Bring your kids out.
Yes, please.
Please. We'll teach you guys how to fish, and
again, if we don't have them on site, let me know, and we'll make sure those babies get one.
100%.
If we run out, we'll make sure they get one. For sure. Again,
brother,
thank you.
Thank you very much,
Absolutely.
man. Thank you. This was good.
Good.
This is good.
Your first one, man.
This is my first one.
I'm glad I got the pocket chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, do have to spit on me.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Later, man.